you. If you struggle with restless nights like I did, take the time to see how Avid can help. To find out how breathing well and sleeping well can make your life and your nights a whole lot better, go to avidknows.com, schedule an appointment today. Because Avid knows, when you breathe well, you live better.
The Bucks head down to the Paris of America to take on the Pelicans.
Lillard goes into the air, and he knocks down the three. He thought he got fouled.
Our coverage starts tonight at 6 with Buck Shoot Around on your home of the Milwaukee Bucks. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 3:01. I'm John Mercure. This is Wisconsin's Afternoon News. Your top story, increased tuition and layoffs.
I'm Julia Fellow. Last chance to vote early.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Southbound on 43. We're backing up from Silver Spring all the way down past Capitol Drive to Keefe. Northbound's heavy from Fond du Lac up to Keefe as well. Westbound 94, you're seeing delays out of the Marquette heading out past the stadium. 894 southbound's got some backups starting at about National Avenue, and it's slow all the way down and around the Hale interchange to about 84th Street. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, clear skies and chilly, a low of 27 degrees. Tomorrow, evening rain, a high of 52 before we get to that rain. Right now, it's 44 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center.
I will ask the Board of Regents at its meeting next week for a 3.75% tuition increase at all of the universities of Wisconsin starting in the 24-25 academic year.
Universities of Wisconsin President Jay Rothman saying the percentage is in line with the rate of inflation. And why ask for the increase now?
It is not adding much in terms of dollars that we can invest in our future and in developing new programs and so forth. It is keeping us basically at the waterline that we're at today.
The Board of Regents meets on April 4th.
The closure of 2 University of Wisconsin Milwaukee branch campuses leads to layoffs of tenured faculty. Universities of Wisconsin system policy states that faculty can be laid off only in extraordinary circumstances. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reports that this is the policy the UWM Chancellor, Mark Moen, applied to justify the faculty layoffs, following the upcoming closures of Washington County campus at the end of this year and Waukesha campus in spring of next year. The total number of layoffs at both campuses is still not known.
Early voting, or technically in-person absentee balloting, can only by state law go until Sunday. With that being a holiday, the city of Milwaukee is last offering the opportunity on Saturday for voters. Most municipalities will wrap up their early voting opportunities Friday. Check with your local clerk's office for information. Election Day is Tuesday, April 2nd. Polls open at 7 a.m.
The latest ICE enforcement operation is exposing the divide between federal and local law enforcement as so-called sanctuary cities face scrutiny. Here's ABC's Quinn Owen.
Arresting more than 200 people across the country this month, ICE continues to prioritize convicted criminals. Acting ICE Director Patrick Lechleitner says the agency is improving coordination with local officials despite so-called sanctuary policies that limit cooperation.
There are laws that affect the ability for state and local law enforcement to cooperate with ICE. So we're trying to make progress in areas that are a little less ICE-friendly.
Immigrant advocates say sanctuary policies are designed to protect victims from coming forward to report crimes. Quinn Owen, ABC News.
Brewer fans heading to American Family Field for the home opener Tuesday will notice some new concessions offerings in right field.
You like brunch?
I sure do, Bob. But if arepas, pulled pork, sushi, or tacos are more your speed, you'll have those options this season at American Family Field's new 3rd Street Market Hall Annex. Brewers President of Business Operations Rick Schlesinger tells WTMJ that Annex will offer both food and game options to keep all fans entertained.
Some fans keep score and, focus on every pitch. Other fans like to go to different areas of the ballpark and pay attention, and some are here in a more casual environment and want to do other things besides just watch the game for 9 innings.
Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Coming up, survey results on restaurant wait times.
Siding Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 3:04.
This report is sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. SidingUnlimited.com.
Your home's defense is crucial. Defensive failure is offensive to you. Siding Unlimited is your home's best defensive coach. Windows, roofing, decks, and of course, siding. Siding Unlimited is it. Windows? Siding Unlimited handles several great brands. They are one of only 5 Pella Platinum Premium installers in the whole country. The only one around here. Doors and decks, roofing, siding. Yes, 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 and yes. Nobody can beat Siding Unlimited. When you deal with Siding Unlimited, you'll get honest pricing, guaranteed. What is that? Well, no gimmicks, none of that BOGO, buy one now, get blah, 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 chin boogie. This is what it will cost you, period. Honest pricing. Bolster your home's defense with the best defensive team ever. SidingUnlimited.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. If you're like me, my home has become my happy place. It's happier now thanks to CertaPro painters. They are simply the best in the business. They will take care of the scuffs, the faded colors. They'll make your home a new home, inside or outside. They did the work at our house. It was quick, easy, and so affordable. Their estimates are always easy. You get a quote right away. It's simply the best in the business. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro painters.
Increase in taxes while families are paying more for everything from gas to groceries is wrong. Milwaukee voters should oppose increase in property taxes by nearly 30% in order to provide increased funding, yet again, to Milwaukee public schools. They've already wasted nearly $1 billion in new taxpayer funding, and now they want more? They don't even have a plan on how they'll spend it. Enough is enough. Milwaukee voters should just say no.
Paid for by Enough is Enough. Vote no.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 3:07.
When we go to a crowded restaurant, how long are most of us willing to wait for a table? A new survey has the answer.
A new survey finds that more than 70% of Americans are willing to wait up to 30 minutes for a table at a restaurant. Obviously, a bunch of factors come into play, including the night of the week, the amount of waitstaff. But if you can make a reservation, do it. People who have them usually get seated in 5 minutes or less. The survey also found men are twice as likely to make a reservation than women who like to wing it. As long as they bring us bread, we're willing to wait. Cooper Lawrence, CBS News.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. 26 teams scheduled to play with baseball regular season getting underway. The weather looks much better tomorrow in New York. Our coverage of the Brewers versus Mets will begin at 12:05. Our Bucks post up tonight in New Orleans against the Pelicans. Coverage begins at 6 o'clock on WTMJ. Bucks guard Patrick Beverley is dealing with a torn ligament in his wrist that will require surgery eventually. Beverly is listed as questionable on the injury report tonight. 4 games on the schedule as college basketball's tournament cranks up back tonight. Clemson and Arizona kick things off at 6:09. Marquette at NC State tomorrow. This college basketball tournament update is brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 3:08. Tax tips are brought to you by the Neal Group. For less stress with the IRS, visit nealgroup.net. That's NEAL Group.net for a free consultation.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA and founder of the Neal Group, with a tip from Tucker the Tax Dog. Tax tip number 3. Do you know who you may be able to claim as a dependent? It is not only your children, plus they don't have to live with you the entire year. Qualifying relatives include parents, foster children, adopted children, brothers, sisters, and other relatives. As a general rule, you must provide over half of their support to be able to claim someone as a dependent. In a divorce situation, the non-custodial parent needs to have Form 8332 signed by the other parent in order to claim that child. This is regardless of what the divorce agreement says. Also, watch out if you have children in college. They may file a tax return claiming themselves. Many times it gives the child no benefit and causes your return to be rejected by the IRS. Good communication is essential in these cases to prevent problems. For more information on this tip and other tax tips, go to nealgroup.net. or stop in and see us. You can give Tucker a belly rub and a milk bone.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John McCure and Julia Fellow.
All right.
Here we are.
Happy Thursday. Brewers baseball was supposed to take place today, but it, of course, got rained out. So tomorrow at this time, Brewers baseball will be right here on WTMJ.
Should have been here.
Should have been here. It will be tomorrow, though, so it'll be a good way to spend a Friday afternoon. All right, where do we start today? What are we tracking?
This is the 3 at 3 on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
The University of Wisconsin system wants to increase your tuition rates.
They do. They want to raise tuition 3.75% across the system. So this would be no matter what school you attend. 3.75% comes on top of a raise last year of 5%. This increase would generate an estimated $39 million annually. Now, this comes on top of student fees are also going to increase $74. Each individual school will also put an increase in. So if you go to, say, I'm just making up numbers, Stevens Point, they may raise it 5%. That's going to be on top of the 3.75%. All this, leaders say, is because Republican lawmakers froze tuition for about a decade, and schools now are scrambling, they say, to try to get back up to where they think they should have been for several years. Universities under those freezes say they had to cut programs, lay off employees, and enrolled more out-of-state students because they pay a lot more money. The problem now is that there is declining enrollment. So even if they raise fees, there are less kids paying those fees and paying that tuition. And this still needs to be approved by the Board of Regents. All right, what's next?
A Wisconsin spot has just won a Global Travel Award.
Does this sound cool to you? Nakusa Sand Valley Resort? Sounds like a beautiful place.
I hadn't heard of it. I know you have.
Yeah, it's in central Wisconsin. The best hotel for outdoor activities in Women's Health's annual Health Travel Awards. This is what they say about it. Whether you go with a partner and stay in a suite overlooking one of the golf courses or book a 4-bedroom cottage for up to 8 people, there's no shortage of ways to enjoy the pristine landscape. Tennis courts, 9 miles of hiking trails, biking, kayaking, pond hockey, and most notably, it's 4 golf courses, championship golf courses, and a 5th one they're actually going to open this summer. It is Nakusa's Sand Valley Resort. It sounds lovely.
Yoga and cold water dips you can do too.
Yeah, I don't get the cold water dip thing.
Feels very Gwyneth Paltrow.
Well, you did a cold water dip dressed up like Snow White.
Oh, yeah. Not as bad as other days. That was an indoor one. I was smart this year.
Is that on your social media? Can people see you for Special Olympics doing your dip dressed up as Snow White?
Yeah, I have a freeze frame, too, on my Facebook page if you want to see me in Snow White, because I've raised $3,000.
It was so cool. So check out Julia's Facebook or Twitter. I guess it's X now, and you can see that.
And I lost my wig.
That was the funniest part. Your hair is jet black. It's almost like you didn't even need the wig.
It didn't make a difference, though.
Yeah, it did.
It did.
All right, what's the third thing?
We love Bob Uecker.
We sure do. Remember this?
Hit in the air to right and deep. Get up! Get up! Get out of here! Gone for Garrett Mitchell! They go back to back against Max Scherzer.
That was almost exactly 1 year ago, early in last year's baseball season, and the Brewers announcing today that the 90-year-old Uecker will be on the call for the Brewers home opener, which is on Tuesday. Of course, you can hear it on WTMJ. Brewers begin the season tomorrow in New York. Uecker's not traveling with the team the last couple of years. He doesn't travel much with the team, but he will be behind the microphone on Tuesday. It's a sure sign that spring is here and baseball's ready to go.
Some people have, when they watch it on TV, they have the radio up and the volume down for the television. That's how good he is.
That's a great way to do it. I love that. It is 3:13 at WTMJ. So new video has just been released of that bridge being struck by the cargo ship in Baltimore. What could bridge operators throughout America learn from what's happened out there? Brad Garrett, former FBI agent, with us live. Up next on WTMJ.
Hey, this is Ben Brust from Kyle Brust and Ortman on ESPN Wisconsin. People can't stop screaming about the Screamin' Sicilian frozen pizza, and no wonder. There's plenty to scream about, like the buttery stone-fired crust, secret recipe tomato sauce, mounds of whole milk mozzarella, and tons of premium toppings. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer and find out for yourself why Sport called Screamin' Sicilian's Holy Pepperoni frozen pizza the best of the best. Screamin' Sicilian. Taste what all the screamin' is about.
John Mercure here from my friends at Dave Drake Camp Heating. When you experience temperatures, maybe in the 20s, you get a bunch of snow, then rain showers and sunny days in the low 40s, all in a 3-week period, it can only mean one thing: you live in Wisconsin. And that prepared you to be ready for anything, because here in Wisconsin, anything can happen with our weather. But fear not. For over 42 years, Dave Drake Camp Heating has lived here too, right by your side, ready and prepared for when anything happens, spring, summer, fall, or winter, even when they all seem to happen at once. Whenever you're experiencing a home comfort dilemma, just call the teams I trust at Dave Drakamp Heating. They've been coming to my house for more than a decade. From free estimates for new equipment, routine maintenance to ensure your system is ready for anything, or because you simply have a question about your home comfort, call them today. Check out the website. That's the best place to begin. DaveDrakeCamp.com. Dave Drakamp Heating, because your comfort is your family's tradition. My house has never been more comfortable thanks to the systems and the maintenance from Dave Drakamp Heating. DaveDrakeCamp.com.
I was born in Louisiana.
July of 1936. The world welcomed George Buddy Guy.
Buddy Guy, that is.
Now, after live performances spanning generations, the legend says goodbye. Buddy Guy, the Damn Right Encore. August 18th, the Riverside Theater. Tickets on sale Friday at 10 a.m. at PabstTheaterGroup.com. From the Damn Right Farewell Tour comes the Damn Right Encore. Buddy Guy, live.
Traffic and weather. Debbie, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, John. We have some delays along westbound 94, pretty much coming out of the Marquette interchange all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Southbound 43 hitting the brakes around Silver Spring. That stretches all the way down to Keefe. After that, it kind of opens up all the way to the Marquette where it starts to slow down again. On the northbound side, seeing backups right around the North Avenue curve all the way up to Keefe. Westbound on 94, we're seeing delays from about from 25th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. The eastbound side is still a little bit tight around 76th Street. And then 894 southbound, that's really kind of been backing up a lot from National Avenue all the way down and around the Hale interchange. Does not really let up until you get past 84th Street. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, clear, chilly skies, a low of 27 degrees. Tomorrow, it's going to be 52 during the day, then it cools off and rain moves in the evening. On Saturday, more rain in the morning, a high of 54. On Sunday, afternoon rain, a high of 44. On Monday, chance for rain, a high of 45. Right now in Milwaukee, clear skies and 45 degrees. New video released today, a different vantage point of that bridge in Baltimore and the tragic crash that happened with the big cargo ship. This is video that shows, it looks like it's mounted on the bridge and it's looking down the street, down the highway on the bridge, and you can see the flashing lights of the truck repairing the potholes. And then underneath in the video clip, you can see the ship strike the stanchion and the bridge go into the water. It is really dramatic, and what happened there is raising a lot of questions and concerns about U.S. infrastructure in general. Brad Garrett, ABC News crime and terrorism analyst, is with us from Washington. Good afternoon, Brad.
Hey, John.
When you think about what you've observed and based on your experience, been able to glean from what happened there, is kind of the first thing that jumps out at you?
Well, in the first very few minutes, what jumped out at me was, did some bad actor do this or create it, that cause it to happen? Now, that doesn't play out, apparently. I'm not hearing anything that would suggest that this was some sort of sabotage and or bad actors, extremists of some sort. So when you set that aside, it looks like they're focusing more maybe on electrical, mechanical, and or bad fuel. And, the lights were on, then they went off, then they came back on, and they finally were off. And I think that's when they called Mayday, and at least got a lot of people from being on the bridge. So, you have to really ask yourself, as horrible as this strikes me as an accident. And that nothing, probably, if it were the size of that ship, no bridge would ever be able to sustain a crash from it, even at a low rate of speed, because it's basically like running a building into the bridge. And so that part of it, is obviously catastrophic, but it's not, I don't think, caused by any issues other than what I just described. We'll have to see. But, that's the issue. But it really shines a light, in my view, sort of on critical infrastructure across the country, from obviously, water, electrical systems, the internet, rails, ships, et cetera. And how good a shape are we really in? And are some of those potentially vulnerable to bad actors.
You know, I'm in Savannah, Georgia a lot, Brad. And one of the favorite things that we like to do is as the ships come in from the Atlantic, these huge container ships, watch them traverse into where they unload. And Savannah's the third busiest port in America, and I think number 28 in the entire world. And we often say, man, if it goes under that big bridge, first will it make it under it? It always does. But this raises the question, could this be target for bad actors, bridges, infrastructure?
Oh, I think there is no doubt. You know, I always shudder when we have these high-profile events as to, will it give people ideas, bad actor ideas to go try something? I mean, the copycat effect in high-profile stuff, it plays out a number of times in mass shootings. That when a short time later we have another mass shooting. So, we'll see. This is different, obviously, than a mass shooting, but it is a concern. And you would think, what are they going to gain? Obviously, it's potentially a big economic slam for the United States. Although they believe that they can reroute a lot of this stuff to maybe down to where you're talking about, and to other East Coast ports to offload cars and everything else. But I don't know. I mean, I do think we need to spend more time and energy on our infrastructure because we don't spend as much money as other countries like Canada, countries in Europe who spend, they have like more regular budgeting for infrastructure. We do pay for it occasionally. They just passed a bill in 2021 that Congress did that dumped a lot of money out there, and that's great. But the experts say it's just not enough.
You were talking about the power of a building slamming into a bridge. How do you prevent this? Because Buttigieg was talking about how there was no way to prevent it. Do we put some barriers in there? I was thinking, gosh, why isn't there something protecting something like that?
Well, there's a thing called fenders that apparently on newer bridges, but no one believes that would have stopped. You're just not going to be able to stop something like this. But if you think about it from this vantage point, of the 50-plus ports there are around this country, and I think there may even be more than that you just never hear of this happening. And, as John mentioned, in Savannah, you see these ships go in and out, and you wonder if they can get under the bridge. Well, of course they can because that's all been mapped out. But there's a built-in vulnerability, obviously, with bridges because of what they are, and they can only sustain so much. So it hasn't been a problem, and it really wasn't a problem this time. This is a ship that went awry. It really had nothing to do with the bridge. But, let's face it, could this happen tomorrow in some other port? Sure, it could.
Brad Garrett, ABC News crime and terrorism analyst in Washington. Always great perspective, Brad. Thank you so much for being with us.
You're welcome. Take care, John.
Coming up, a list of things that makes people happy. The thing at the top of the list really, really surprised me. We're going to tell you what that thing is and ask you to weigh in. We'll do that after the news at the bottom of the hour on WTMJ. A couple of words for Connect Chiropractic. I'm a big fan. Connect Chiropractic. You know why? They can take almost anything wrong with you, and I'm living proof of this, and make it better. I've got tension headaches. I carry it in my neck and my shoulders. I went in for my couple first exams, and I knew that I had issues. They looked at my spine. They took x-rays. They put their hands on me. They were gentle and nuanced, and they gave me my first adjustment, and I feel better already. I'm not kidding you. It's no twisting, cracking, popping. That's not how they roll at Connect Chiropractic. They're gentle and they're nuanced. They can help with headaches, numbness, tingling, back pain, the things that you typically associate with a chiropractor. They have a long-term care that focuses on total wellness, and I really like that. Check them out like I did. They're having an open house on Wednesday, April 24th from 6 to 8 at the office in Wauwatosa, right on Burleigh. 6 to 8 on April 24th. Meet the doc, see the place, learn how chiropractic care can help you. April 24th from 6 to 8 o'clock. Check it out. It's Connect Chiropractic.
Heiser Toyota has slam dunk deals this month. Score big on a 24 Camry sedan or a 24 RAV4 with affordable financing starting at 3.99% APR. And this is for up to 60 months. Plus, we will be awarding our MVPs with our exclusive Safe and Sound program. which is included on each vehicle sale. See all details at HeiserToyota.com. At Heiser, today's your day.
See dealer for complete details. Tax, title, license, and $3.99 service fees extra. Ends March 31st.
When the centurion who stood facing him saw how he breathed his last, he said, "Truly, this man was the Son of God." Hello, this is Archbishop Listecki. Imagine how much God loved us to die for us. But he would not allow his Son to be forgotten in the tomb. Instead, God the Father's love raised him up and offered hope to all of us who believe in him. The Eucharist is the sacrificial act which joins us to his love. A blessed Easter to all. Join us at Mass.
Hi, I'm Jeff Cole of Cole Investment Group. If you have at least $750,000 in retirement assets, we can help you transition into the retirement you've worked so hard to achieve. We have award-winning expertise that you need at a pivotal point in your retirement planning. When you put your trust in us, you can expect that we'll always put your needs first. That's the Kowal way. Give us a call at 262-522-4040 or visit thekowalway.com to schedule your complimentary review.
Kowal Investment Group is a registered investment advisor.
A Brewers Group outing is the best way to celebrate any special occasion. Birthday parties, anniversaries, or bachelor parties. You can count on the Brewers to host. Brewers account reps make your day at the ballpark a breeze. Plus, get set up with customizable tailgate spaces, seating blocks in your favorite spot at American Family Field, and much more. Start planning your group outing now at brewers.com/groups.
Skilled trade workers are the backbone of every community, and also the Army National Guard. Soldiers trained to keep the power flowing, engines running, and in every other trade needed to accomplish the mission. These soldiers are on the fast track to learning skills that can set them up for success at home with companies looking to hire the best. Their resumes are being built through their paid training and part-time service. Find out how you too can learn a trade profession by visiting NationalGuard.com. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Time for the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The S&P 500's latest record capped another great first quarter. The S&P 500 was up another 6 points today. It's at 52.54. The Dow was up 47 points to close at 39.807. The NASDAQ down 20 points, but it's at 16.379. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. Details at annexwealth.com.
Like it or not, you are a media-consuming machine, chased all day by headlines, texts, emails, on the TV, the computer, the phone, even your smartwatch. News about market volatility and uncertainty could lead to anxiety and planning paralysis. No surprise, Americans report increased stress about their investment and retirement plans. This isn't a time to be frozen in place. Take action. Put Annex Wealth Management on your side. Build a plan that will help cut through the noise. We'll provide comprehensive investment and retirement guidance that includes tax and estate planning. Let Annex do a deep dive on your portfolio, offer unbiased advice with Wealth Metric, and work to create a solid plan for you and your family. Turn down the media roar. Dial up the planning. Head to AnnexWealth.com and click the Get Started button. It takes only a couple of minutes. Set your own appointment. In person or online, it's time to take action and know the difference with a fee-only fiduciary. That's Annex Wealth Management. AnnexWealth.com.
Find a cascade of ideas for your home, garden, and outdoor living spaces at the Realtors Home and Garden Show, presented by Unilock. Stop by State Fair Park and let the inspiration flow. Gather pro tips at the seminar stage and chat with area contractors who can make your renovation dreams come true. The Realtors Home and Garden Show runs March 22nd through the 30th. Visit mkehgs.com for info.
Since 1955, Geist Garage Doors has been the trusted authority in Wisconsin. Hey, it's Greg Matzik. Don't let a busted garage door get you down. Give my friends at Geist a call. Doors and openers for every budget are available, and they'll even build custom designs to meet your exact needs. Check out geistdoors.com or call 262-784-4250. Or do what I did. Check out their amazing showroom in Brookfield featuring hundreds of doors, openers, and their custom design room. Wherever you are in Southeast Wisconsin, don't think twice. Call Geist.
Don't think twice. Call Geist.
Traffic is sponsored by Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee. Design Exchange is where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 3:30. I'm John Mercure. Your top story search updates on missing Elijah Vu.
I'm Julia Fellow. A stabbing rampage in Illinois.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, and we do have some backup southbound 41 from just south of Appleton Avenue down to about Capitol Drive. Back on the brakes from Greenfield Avenue all the way down and around the Hale interchange on the bypass. But once you get to 92nd Street, you're good to go. Westbound on 894, of course, we got the backups through the construction zone right from the Mitchell all the way to about 68th Street. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
It's clear and chilly right now, 41 degrees. The low will be 27 degrees. Tomorrow is cloudy with rain chances in the evening. The high will be 43 at the lake and a little bit warmer inland, 52 degrees.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, another search effort is concluding today for Elijah Vu. The missing 3-year-old has not been found over a month after his disappearance. Two Rivers police say a 70-team operation conducted a drone search, checking large areas of interest, including assistance from sheriff's departments across the state and the Wisconsin Department of Justice's Division of Criminal Investigation. Last week, police, the DNR, and local farmers conducted a large search operation in the Choteau area.
Authorities in a northern Illinois community investigating a stabbing rampage on Wednesday that left 4 people dead. ABC's Mark Remillard reports.
Authorities in Rockford, Illinois say the violent rampage left 4 dead and 7 people injured, including one still in the hospital in stable condition. Rockford Police Chief Curla Red says 22-year-old Christian Soto is in custody and is facing multiple counts of murder and attempted murder.
We have no other indications or any other reports that anyone else was involved in the events yesterday besides Soto.
Among the dead is a 15-year-old girl as well as a 49-year-old letter carrier for the U.S. Postal Service. Mark Remillard, ABC News.
Getting a chance at the American dream of homeownership. Washington County Executive Josh Schoeman explains to WTMJ the Hardin Homestead Earned Down Payment Incentive.
We provide up to $20,000 or 10% of a purchase price for a home as a down payment. And the incentive has a 5-year earn back opportunity where, they can volunteer time to a local nonprofit and they can earn the equivalent of $25 for every hour that they volunteer.
Eligible homes must be under $420,000.
An exciting update on Wisconsin's peregrine falcons. 4 more eggs were laid this week, bringing it to the total of 5 eggs so far this year. Every We Energy's nest now has eggs, and more are expected. The peregrine parents take turns incubating their eggs, and if all goes well, the first chicks will hatch in a little over a month. You can find the newest photos and links on live streams at our website, WTMJ.com.
With the start of the Brewers season comes the start of the Brewers Community Fund charity campaigns.
We're happy that this year we're going to be kicking off our season with a drive for charity, collecting pet supplies.
Executive Director for the Brewers Community Foundation, Cecilia Gore, says they're hitting the ground running with the first homestand.
The drive for charity takes place April 4th through April 7th. But on Thursday, April 4th, we're allowing people to do a drive-through. You can stop by between 7 and 3 p.m. and drop off those pet supplies.
Money will also be welcome in the collection, and it all benefits the Wisconsin Humane Society. Debbie Lazaga, WTMJ News.
And the first 250 people to donate at the drive will get Brewers tickets and collectible commemorative pins.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. 26 teams scheduled to play today as baseball's regular season gets underway. The Brewers and Mets, one of 2 games postponed because of weather. Weather looks much better tomorrow in New York. Our coverage of the Brewers versus Mets will begin at 12:05. Our Bucks post up tonight in New Orleans against the Pelicans. The coverage begins at 6 o'clock on WTMJ.
WTMJ News Time, 3:34.
Sponsored by Grandview Homes, the name you know, the name you trust. GrandviewHomes.com.
We asked people why they sold their homes to Grandview Homes instead of using a real estate agent.
We needed to sell Mom's home quickly and with a company we could rely on.
No showings, no closing costs, no staging, no real estate agent fees, no added stress.
Whether you have a hard-to-sell home, want a stress-free sale, or simply need to sell your home fast, Grandview Homes is the name you know and the name you can trust. Visit GrandviewHomes.com to discover the easiest and fastest way to sell a home.
Griffin is your one-stop shop this March. For only $179.95, we offer an all-exclusive package to spruce up your ride. Get an oil change, tire rotation, air filter, wiper blades, multi-point inspection, battery check, and heat inspection. Griffin, your spring drive starts here.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
3:35 on WTMJ. How much water do you drink in a day?
I have had maybe a gulp so far today.
I know what you were drinking this morning at our morning meeting at 10:30 in the morning.
A giant jug of Coke.
That was a big old glass from, what was that, the bakery place?
Corner bakery.
Yeah.
I was trying to wake up. I know, it's
Did
so
it work?
naughty.
Did you wake up?
Yes,
You seemed
I
to wake.
did. And I've had 2 more lattes.
You are hopping over there. I ask about water because there's a new survey out that shows for some people the key to happiness is hydration.
I believe it.
Primarily drinking water. This is very, very interesting stuff. So the survey basically looked at 2,000 American adults and talked to them about their consumption of water and then how they view the world. So it turns out the benefits of staying hydrated go beyond just quenching your thirst. So the survey divided participants based on how many glasses of water they drink daily and found some interesting correlations. Among those who gulp down 10 or more glasses a day, that's a lot, by the way, 10 or more glasses a day, 80% of those people said it's important to focus on the small joys in life. So 80% focused on joyful things in life. If you drank 1 glass or less a day, only 48% of those people, almost half the amount, said they focus on the joyful things in life. 46% of the most hydrated folks, so 46% of those that drank 10 or more glasses a day, report being very happy. Only 22% of the people who don't drink a lot of water said they're very happy. 71% of those who drank 7 or more glasses a day, so that's a little less, but still a lot. 71% of those people say they consider themselves glass half full types. If you drank less than a glass a day, only 38% of those people said I'm a half glass full type.
But I'm with producer Sam, who said, when am I going to go to the bathroom? Right?
That definitely is an issue.
For a lot of people.
So my
construction
biggest
workers,
issue is at my age, and I'm 55, at night, I don't want to get up and go to the bathroom in the middle of the night like 5 times.
I have to go in the middle of the night too now. I don't know what that is.
It's age.
I have a...
You're so funny. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, when you just told me. You just told me. I have a revelation. Are you ready? I've never
I'm
said
ready.
this on air. I had a kidney stone in 2012.
That can be from not drinking enough water.
Yes.
Did they tell you that was maybe part of it?
Yes, he said I basically
Really?
made a little pearl and it hurt bad. So make sure that you have a lot of water. He said you should have at least 8 water bottles full of water a day. And I can't,
And you just said you had a gulp.
I can't physically consume that much though, John, honestly. That's
You
too much.
consumed almost that much Coke today before the morning meeting.
That's true.
So for you, because this is part of the survey too, is it that you don't like the taste? It's boring? It's hard to get it at the temperature you like? Why? Why do you not like to drink water?
I think I fear having to go to the bathroom all the time, which is not good.
But if you drank the equivalent amount of water,
You need to.
Is that Diet Coke in your lattes, you would be in better shape. Look, you have a bottle of water right there.
Not opened. I've had it around. I've been holding it all day.
So why would you not drink? So you had, I don't know what that was. That was like 30 ounces of Coke in that glass, right?
Maybe
why would
there's
you not drink water instead?
Caffeine. I'm
okay,
looking
you
for
want to get going
caffeine.
a little bit.
Mhm.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
It feels so good though after you have water. I make sure.
I know, it
Usually, I
does.
make sure I have at least 7 big gulps, and if I don't, my body's like, "What's going on?"
So there's
I
a
need
guy here. You're kind of new here, but you've seen him. Maybe you don't know him yet. His name is Nate. He's a big guy, and he's one of our sales guys. I eat lunch at the same time every day where Nate comes to the water dispenser thing, and he fills up 3 glasses of water and slams it. Every day at like 2 o'clock, Nate slams like 24 ounces of water. Finally, after like the 3rd day, I said, what are you doing? He goes, I need to drink enough water to stay hydrated, and I don't want to carry around one of those big, stupid Stanley-looking things. And so I come 3 times a day and slam 3 glasses of water, and I just get it in my system.
My brother, who's a big guy, he's like a 12-year-old girl. He has to have water at all times. If he doesn't, he dwindles. Honestly,
Will you at least open that bottle of water?
I had a swig.
You did?
A little one.
Okay. Let's roll the tape back, Sam. Did she take a drink? Okay. It's 3:39 at WTMJ. something very interesting that baby boomers and Gen Z have in common. This is going to surprise you. That's up next on WTMJ.
Throughout history, some people have been born into greatness because of their name or family. Others gained greatness because of their actions. On Wisconsin's Morning News, we celebrate everyday heroes, the John or Jane Doe who had no idea when they woke up one morning they'd be saving a life. Everyday Heroes, Thursday at 6:40 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care.
Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning, quality products and services at a fair price from a local company you can trust. This is about the water in your house. Aside from the air in your house, nothing more important than the water. And we drink more water at home than we ever have. We're going to try to get Julia to actually drink more water. Water softeners, reverse osmosis systems, the salt into your house, they handle all of that at Guthrie and Fry. My water's crisp, clean, clear. It's the best water in the neighborhood. I know Sue and Rob and their teams are going to take good care of me like they take care of all of their customers. In-house plumbers mean they come to your house and they don't have to come back. They carry everything they need on the truck. GuthrieFryWater.com. Fixed rental rates, comprehensive, reliable products, and everyday competitive pricing. Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning. GuthrieFryWater.com.
Spectrum Business is made to work like your small business. Made to do it all with fast, ultra-reliable internet, phone, and mobile services. And made to work with a small business budget. Get 600 megabit per second business internet for just $49.99 a month for 1 year with select bundles. Plus, get an unlimited mobile line for free. Visit spectrum.com/work to lock in this deal now. Learn more at spectrum.com/work. Restrictions apply. Services not available in all areas.
The sooner you address your joint pain, the better. You really don't want your pain to become chronic, to a point when surgery may become your only option. Address your joint pain issues early and calm down that inflammation and increase your mobility. Get the joints moving again and the blood circulating. That can be very beneficial. Plus, why not just feel better sooner? By coming to Rejuvenex, at the very least we can alleviate your pain, so you can feel and move better to help you live a better quality of life. Don't you deserve at least that? Multi-joint treatments at Rejuvenex can cost as little as, well, nothing. That's because we are in network with almost all major insurance plans, including Medicare and Medicaid. So you really have nothing to lose, except a very good chance of living with a lot less pain. This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Clinics, where we can alleviate your pain and rejuvenate your life.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after, an in-depth recap of every Bucks game in 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 provides game recaps for every game. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis.
Puts it on the floor, spins down the lane, and plunges it through.
Or the deep threes from Dame.
Dame time has arrived with 107.
Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Traffic and weather, let's get you home with Debbie Lazaga.
Okay, Julia, we've got backups now southbound on 43 as you're making your way down from Silver Spring down past Keefe. So that's going to be a bit of a tight squeeze. Right now we're up to 18 minutes to get from Brown Deer Road into downtown. It's an extra, I would say about 6 right now. The northbound side slowing down from just before Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up past Keefe. Southbound 4394 is going to be heavy right out of the Marquette, heading down towards the KK River. Westbound on 94, also seeing delays from about 16th Street all the way to Hawley Road. From downtown to the Zoo Interchange, we're looking at about an 8 to 9 minute ride. And you can be our eyes on the roads. Report accidents, slowdowns, and road conditions to the WTMJ Hall Volkswagen traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Your WTMJ forecast, it's clear and chilly right now, 41 degrees, the low will be 27. Tomorrow is cloudy with rain chances in the evening. The high will be 43 at the lake and 52 inland. Saturday will be cloudy with a chance of morning showers. Another temperature difference inland, 54 and 48 at the lakefront. Sunday, mostly cloudy with evening rain chances again, the high of 44, and more rain into Monday with a high of 45 degrees. boomers and Gen Z may have a similar beef. New data might show they both feel they're in the same boat when it comes to age-related discrimination. I spoke to both Gen Z and boomers about this during lunch today here in Milwaukee, and here's what some of them had to say. You are a baby boomer.
Yes, that's correct.
Have you felt discriminated against before?
Yes, I do. I think that really in most businesses, the OWMs, old white males, are discriminated against. When job openings come up, it seems like they're filled not based on talent anymore, but based on age.
I have felt fortunate as a boomer. Well, I've been a manager for most of my life. So I was the decision maker. I wasn't the one being made the decision about.
So the key is to be a manager?
Maybe. The key might be just to be in the right place at the right time.
I haven't experienced it, but my husband definitely has. He's in sales, and everyone's, boomer age, and he's the youngest one.
I feel like being in personal finance, it can be a little bit of generational, and then being a young woman, sometimes I have to try harder to prove myself initially.
Me just gets passed over for managerial positions because who wants to report to someone who's 20 years younger than them?
Ooh.
Interesting mix.
Yes. Mark Burnett wrote an article that was so interesting. It was published today in the Milwaukee Business Journal called What Baby Boomers and Gen Z Have in Common. Mark, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thank you guys for having me.
I really appreciate it. Can you tell me why you decided to write this and what caught your eye with a lot of the statistics?
Well, yeah, I think a lot of what's going on with Gen Z happened to millennials as well, which is, I'm a fellow millennial where you kind of just get blamed for everything, it seems like. And I thought this data was really interesting because what you essentially have is the Gen Z and the baby boomers on sort of different sides of the same spectrum being discriminated against because of their age, maybe not being taken as serious as they should be. So the data was really interesting to me.
I found it interesting that from Resume Builder, you referenced how much hiring managers don't like hiring Gen Z. They ask for too much money, have a sense of entitlement, and are too difficult to manage. What did you think when you read that?
Well, I mean, I think you have to take that with a grain of salt for sure, because I think one of the things I really respect about Gen Z is that a lot of times they do know their worth. It's okay to, negotiate what you feel like you're worth. And I also think if you're a hiring manager out there and you're overlooking Gen Z candidates, you better be careful because we know statistically that there aren't as many people being born right now. So if you're not able to connect with the new generation, you may have you may look up in 5 to 10 years and have a hiring crisis on your hands.
It's interesting, Mark, because I think some people would agree with you, take it with a grain of salt, but this was 800 hiring managers. Is there an opportunity for some, whether it's Gen Z, and I don't want to pick on them either, but people who are looking for jobs to learn lessons based on these surveys about how they should approach things and what their conduct could be and how they put themselves in the best position to get hired?
Yeah, I definitely think the younger generation can learn from the older generation and vice versa. I think it's a situation where you have to give Gen Z some grace. You think about it, we all were kind of left scrambling 4 years ago when the pandemic hit. So just imagine you're coming out of college for the first time. You never worked in a true professional setting, and all of a sudden, your whole world is turned upside down. I think, the older generation should probably give Gen Z a little bit more grace and allow them to kind of grow into those roles while also trying to be those mentors that we want to be. And also Gen Z, I think, can learn from the older generation in terms of how to navigate themselves in the workplace and understanding that it's okay to, kind of respect your elders to a degree while also, kind of trying to meet in the middle.
Is it just, maybe some cultural differences? Because Gen Z, they have a different lingo. Sorry, Sam. Do you think that that's just the difference that's going on? And maybe they missed out on some important years because of COVID, to your point?
Yeah, I think, the way people communicate can be a barrier at times. But I think that's a great situation for, if I'm a hiring manager or if I'm a manager and I understand that I have some boomers on my staff and I also have some Gen Z workers, why not, sit both sides down and try to get to an understanding? Because if the goal is to do what's best for the company, you're not going to be able to ignore either side. If you want to have a strong workforce, you're going to have some young talent in there. You're going to have some fresh ideas. So I think it's a situation where both sides should probably start working together a little bit better.
Almost 80% of baby boomers believe they've been discriminated against. My goodness.
It's a big number.
But, I mean, there's already state and federal laws that protect people over age 40, right?
Yeah, and I think the quote from the expert in that piece hit it on the head. This is a situation that kind of can go beyond even the courts at times because, if you have a private company, you can say you're not discriminating based on age, but at the same time, you could be overlooking them simply because they are older than what you deem to be fit for your workplace.
So the research shows that boomers and Gen Zers are both feeling like they're being discriminated against. Who's getting the jobs? Is it millennials that are most attractive? Is it Gen X? Who's getting the jobs? Who's most attractive to those that are doing the hiring?
Yeah, I think we're seeing a lot of Gen X people are in management positions now, and millennials are slowly moving into that middle part of their career as well. And I think that's where you're seeing a lot of those positions go to. But I think if you're a Gen X or a millennial out there, you have to look within yourself and say, hey, I remember being early 20s and thinking, man, I wish somebody would just take me serious. I wish somebody would give me a shot. And I think a lot of times when you look at it from that perspective, it's a lot easier to understand that, hey, they're just learning out here. When you reference Gen Z, they're not necessarily trying to come in and take over. They're just trying to figure out their way, and maybe they need a little bit more guidance.
Mark Bermetta is with us from the Business Journals. Another interesting thing you touched on was TikTok. 70% of Gen Zers encounter career advice on TikTok daily or weekly. Okay, that's no big deal. They encounter it. They're on it. 40% say they've made career-related decisions based on the advice they received on TikTok. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? Is it too easy to generalize? What do you make out of that, the TikTok part of this equation?
Honestly, my biggest takeaway when seeing that data was we probably need better on-the-ground mentors, because realistically, I think, TikTok can be a great source. Social media can be a great source, but it shouldn't be your only source. And I think that's where the older generation could probably step in and provide that mentorship, that guidance. Hey, here's the type of pitfalls I went through. Here are things to avoid along the way in your journey, and really sort of step in and bridge that gap so that the younger generation isn't having to seek that type of advice from social media.
I don't know. Did you feel like this when you were growing up, Mark, or John, for that matter? When you guys were growing
Discriminated
up?
against?
Yeah, when you were younger.
Mark, go ahead.
I think when you're sort of early 20s, I do think there's a little bit of, okay, who's the new hotshot kid with all the ideas, right? I mean, I think if we can kind of put ourselves in a time machine and go back to looking when we first started out our career, I remember being a sports writer, and a lot of the older sports writers were like, well, you didn't cover high school sports the way we had to when we were coming up. And it was like, well, I'm sorry, the times have changed. I can't go back and correct that. But here I am now. I just want to be taken seriously. I want to be given a fair shake as a young professional. So I definitely think, there's some credence here given to that Gen Z point.
I feel that way. I felt when I was young in the Channel 4 newsroom right here in Milwaukee, and I walked in that newsroom, and there were old guys that were literally smoking cigarettes at their desk and looked at me like, you don't know anything.
When I was in Chicago, there was one guy that refused to use a computer. Walter Jacobson, I'll just say.
Oh, yeah.
He had a typewriter at his desk. He would not touch anything technology. And then I was made fun of as a young reporter with a Garmin.
A Garmin, yeah.
Yeah, and then now everybody uses it to walk.
Exactly.
For directions.
Hey, Mark, can I ask you about something else that you wrote about in your article, which I found fascinating? We all talk about March Madness and how it can be bad for productivity, and so many hours are spent with people looking at their brackets. You had a very interesting point about how March Madness could boost office returns for savvy employers. Tell us about that.
Well, no, I'm glad you brought that up because I think March Madness is probably one of those sporting events, maybe the World Cup and a few others, the Super Bowl, that really brings kind of everybody together, whether you're a big sports fan or not. If I'm an employer or office manager, I'm thinking about some office pool or something fun, just some type of reward to entice people to want to come into the office. Maybe even have we could block off these couple hours to watch a game as a crew, maybe a pizza party or something, just to entice people to want to come into the office and sort of build that office camaraderie that I think a lot of people are still searching for post-pandemic.
Are you in any pools? Are you in any brackets?
Yeah, I'm not doing well. I'll leave it at that.
Nobody is. We have yet to find anybody who's going to win all these pools.
It's just nice because you don't want to talk about work all of the time.
Right.
I think this is a great way to unite us all together.
Exactly.
Mark, I think you raise a good point because none of us are productive 100% of the time at work. We're going to be on Facebook. We're going to be texting with somebody we need to text with. So how about incorporate something that really builds a sense of camaraderie and because nobody works 100% of the time?
Yeah, and when you think about those generational gaps, we got 4 different generations in the workforce right now, and what better way to find a way to unite people over a March Madness conversation, or hey, how's your bracket doing? Just small stuff like that, just to get the conversation going. And you never know what that could really lead to. And we talk about building that bridge from a mentorship standpoint. All it takes is just some outreach and an opportunity. And I think a lot of people are sort of seeking that on both sides.
Mark Burnett, associate editor of The Playbook. It's a really cool part of the Business Journal. You should check it out when you get the chance. Mark, great stuff. Thank you so much for spending some time with us.
Hey, thank you guys.
Thank you.
A conversation during the 4 o'clock hour that we've really been looking forward to. We've been talking a lot on the show about Milwaukee Public Schools and their referendum. It's going to referendum in less than a week. Bill Andrikopoulos is the former superintendent of the Milwaukee Public Schools, the longest-serving superintendent that they've ever had. He has a very strong opinion, and I think it's going to surprise you, about what should happen with this massive referendum that's been proposed by MPS. Bill Andrikopoulos with us live, coming up at 4:15 on WTMJ. First, it's Rich Kirchen at the Milwaukee Business Journal.
The owner of Pick and Save and Metro Markets gets criticized by the Federal Trade Commission for continuing pandemic-era price hikes. The agency alleges Kroger increases profits by maintaining elevated prices. The Milwaukee Brewers signed new sponsors at American Family Field for the 2024 season. On the list, Quick Trip, Jack Daniels, Culver's, Nicolay Law, Sherwin-Williams, and Red Bull. Construction machinery manufacturer Zoom Lion lays off 31 employees in Racine County community Yorkville. The company says it's restructuring operations. I'm Rich Kirchen with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
This report is sponsored by Diamonds Direct. Your love, their passion.
What's wrong with Rick? He's kind of spacey today.
That's Rick's identical twin, Scott. He's not used to answering to Rick.
What's going on?
Rick asked me to keep it secret, but he asked his twin to cover his shift so he could go to Diamonds Direct to shop.
But this is a jewelry store.
Yeah, I know, but the prices and selection are so much better at Diamonds Direct. Rick doesn't want the boss to get suspicious, so Scott's here in case the boss sees Rick at Diamonds Direct.
But that would mean that the boss is at Diamonds Direct too?
Yeah, we have a lot of secrets.
You never know who you'll run into at Diamonds Direct. With unbeatable direct importer prices, the highest quality diamonds, the most sought-after designer rings, the best customer service, the strongest guarantees in the industry. It's just a no-brainer.
You think if Scott had a mustache, would he look like me?
No.
Go where everyone else goes. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Well, what if I shaved?
Still no.
For store hours, directions, and more, go to diamondsdirect.com.
WTMJ's Julia Fellow here for Just Between Friends Milwaukee County. It's a special pop-up marketplace for families to buy and sell gently used infant through teen and maternity clothing, plus all the children's gear you can think of at discounted prices. We are talking about 50 to 90% off the retail price, happening Friday, April 12th through Sunday the 14th at Wisconsin State Fair Park's Exposition Center. You can check it out at milwaukeecounty.jbfsale.com. Just think about all the items your child may have used. Once, maybe. You can sell all of them at this April event on consignment. The average person makes, get this, $530. Every single item goes through a thorough inspection to make sure it's safe for the next family to enjoy. You can buy tickets or learn more at milwaukeecounty.jbfsale.com. Just Between Friends Milwaukee County, the best and biggest sale for children's items like clothing, shoes, books, baby equipment, outdoor toys, and much, much more. I can't wait to go and get everything for my niece and godchild when it comes to State Fair Park's Exposition Center, Friday, April 12th through April 14th on Sunday. There are pre-sale tickets still available Thursday, April 11th, but they're going fast. You can learn more at milwaukeecounty.jbfsale.com. That's milwaukeecounty.jbfsale.com.
So there are some things all real estate agents do, and there are certain things some agents do. Most of us are full service. Some charge 6% commission for full service. We charge 3.9%. But one person's full service isn't exactly equal to the others. And it's important that you know there is a difference. You're going to want an agent who is reliable, responsive, that feels like they're working for you to live up to all the expectations you have when hiring a full service agent. You'll find that at Benefit Realty, where you pay less for full service. This is Angela Calais with Benefit Realty. When it comes to getting the peak price for your home sale, it's all a matter of eyeballs. The more people we get your home listing in front of, the more opportunities arise. At Benefit Realty, we are ultra confident in promising you maximum exposure to your listing. We want to sell it fast and for as much as we can for you. That way, all sides win. And I have to believe that's why we've achieved the strong growth that we have. Maximum exposure means maximum home sale value. Benefit-realty.com.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code GIFT for an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. That's promo code GIFT.
Traffic is sponsored by the all-new Burghardt Sporting Goods.
The all-new Burghardt Sporting Goods, the Midwest's best baseball and softball training facility and retail center in New Berlin and Fox Point.
The Bucks head down to the Paris of America to take on the Pelicans.
Lillard goes into the air, and he knocks down the three. He thought he got fouled.
Our coverage starts tonight at 6 with Bucks Shoot Around on your home of the Milwaukee Bucks. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 4:01. I'm John Mercure. This is Wisconsin's Afternoon News. Your top story, take 2 on recalling the speaker.
I'm Julia Fellow. An infant death at a daycare center.
I'm Debbie Lazago. We've got still delays along southbound 894, starting at the Zoo interchange all the way down and around the Hale. Does not really let up till you get past 84th Street, so heads up with that. On the westbound side, we got backups out of the Mitchell interchange all the way to about 68th Street with that construction zone. Southbound 43 on and off the brakes from before Hampton Avenue down past Keefe. Back on the brakes from North Avenue down through the Marquette interchange and over the high-rise bridge. Northbound 43 slowing down from before Fond du Lac up to Keefe as well. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Painting Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, clear and chilly, a low of 27 degrees. Tomorrow, early sunshine, then showers late in the day, a high of 50 tomorrow. It's currently 46 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a second recall effort underway against Wisconsin Assembly Speaker Robin Vos. Matthew Snork of Burlington filed paperwork with the Wisconsin Elections Commission. This after his first effort to fail without enough signatures and allegations of widespread fraud as the Racine County DA investigates. Supporters of Donald Trump are seeking to oust Vos over his criticism of Trump and his unwillingness to break the law and undo the 2020 Wisconsin presidential election. The new recall petitions are due May 28th.
Police are investigating the death of an infant at a New Berlin in-home daycare center. A 4-month-old baby boy was found unconscious and not breathing at the home near 130th Street and Saginaw Avenue. This happened Tuesday. The boy was taken to Children's Hospital of Wisconsin, where he later died. New Berlin police have not identified the business that is implicated or if the owners have been charged with any crimes.
Fighting continues in Gaza between Israeli Defense Forces and Hamas militants. ABC's Britt Clennett is in Tel Aviv with more.
Heavy fighting still taking place at Al-Shifa, which is Gaza's main hospital, by the way, before the war. Israel says it's still operating around the site after storming it more than a week ago. Now, the IDF claims to have killed about 200 gunmen there, and this all comes despite the fact that the IDF claimed in January that it had completed dismantling Hamas's command structure in northern Gaza.
The fighting continuing despite the adoption of a UN ceasefire resolution this week.
A tuition increase coming to Wisconsin college students. University of Wisconsin president proposing to increase tuition by 3.75% during the 2024-2025 academic year.
We consider this a modest increase in light of recent inflation levels. We believe it's important to share this information now so that families and students can plan as they look at the next academic year.
7 of the universities are also asking for additional funds.
What some of the universities have done in order to fund academic advising, faculty and high demand programs and other things related to student success has asked for a marginal increase above the 3.75.
10 of the 13 campuses are running on a structural deficit. The Board of Regents meets on April 4th.
Coming up, how much is that chocolate bunny in the window?
Setting a limited WTMJ News Time, 4:04.
Here's another remarkable success story from QC Kinetics. This one from Chad, who hurt his knee at the gym one day, and it just kept on hurting for months.
From my high school football and wrestling days, I already had a little bit of damage in there, but this just sent it over the edge.
Chad tried traditional treatments with no improvement when he turned to the non-surgical regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics.
It was really fascinating how they did their work, and the science behind it was very intriguing, and it works. Extracting the cure out of my own body blew my mind. It's like I'm brand new again. It was fantastic.
That's because the QC Kinetics natural biologic treatments use your body's own healing power to restore damaged tissue in your hips, shoulders, back, and knees, providing long-lasting relief.
Now I'm back at the gym. I'm 100%, feeling great.
If you're tired of suffering with pain from arthritis or injury, call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Do you have questions about how you can preserve and protect your hard-earned assets? Hi, I'm Jeff Kowal, founder of Kowal Investment Group, the retirement specialist. Join us on Thursday, April 25th at Revere's in Delafield. That's in Lake Country as we discuss how you can keep family wealth in the family. Whether you are preparing to retire or already retired, it's our mission to help you get the information you need to make the best decisions for you and your loved ones. That's why we've teamed with industry experts and our trusted partners, John Koenig, he's an estate planner and attorney with Elder Advisors Law, and Chris Behrens, a trust officer and vice president of Horicon Bank, to bring you the latest information on estate planning, wills, trusts, and more, especially for those with $1 million or more in assets. This is a free event, but you do need to register and space is limited. Visit the events page at thekowalway.com for details and to reserve your seat, or give our office a call at 262-522-4040. It's 262-522-4040.
Kowal Investment Group is a registered investment advisor.
Starting Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 4:06.
It's going to be pricey to fill this year's Easter baskets. ABC's Jim Ryan.
Cocoa is the key ingredient in chocolate. Chocolate is the key ingredient in chocolate Easter bunnies. But have you ever really tasted one?
Sometimes we buy because it's cute or it's tradition, not because we're actually going to eat the chocolate bunny.
Economist Stephanie Yates says consumers are asking themselves,
do I really need to buy it, or do I really need to buy as many?
A Ghirardelli's chocolate gift box that would have cost you $32 last year will set you back $40 this year. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. 26 teams scheduled to play today as baseball's regular season gets underway. The Brewers and Mets, one of two games postponed because of weather. Weather looks much better tomorrow in New York. Our coverage of the Brewers and Mets begin at 12:05. Our Bucks are up tonight in New Orleans against the Pelicans. Coverage begins at 6 o'clock on WTMJ. 4 games on the schedule as college basketball tournament cranks back up tonight. Clemson and Arizona kick things off at 6:09. Marquette and NC State tomorrow. This college basketball tournament update is brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 4:07.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we get you outdoors because we get you. Whether you're ready to work in the yard, tackle a project, or enjoy family time, we get you the right products at the right prices. Right now, Rewards members get a free $10 Blaine's gift card with a $100 purchase of estate fertilizer, 35-pound bags of Blaine's brand Golden Harvest bird food, $12.99, and get a free $15 Blaine's gift card when you buy select bags of Hill's Science Diet dog or cat food. We get you outdoors because we get you at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
There's a reason people sold to Grandview Homes instead of using a real estate agent.
We needed to sell Mom's home quickly and with a company we could rely on.
No showings, no closing costs, no added stress.
Visit GrandviewHomes.com to discover the easiest and fastest way to sell a home.
Annex Wealth Management. Investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning from a fee-only fiduciary. Forget commission sales pitches and financial products you don't need. Know the difference. Annex provides elite, comprehensive financial planning customized to who you are and what you need. AnnexWealth.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John McCure and Julia Fellow.
All right. Thursday's going fantastic.
Yay.
Glad you're with us. So it's not just the Brewers opener this week. Actually, it's been moved to tomorrow. It's also the season's first charity drive for the Brewers Community Foundation. Here's WTMJ's Debbie Lazaga.
We're happy that this year we're going to be kicking off our season with a drive for charity, collecting pet supplies.
Executive Director of the Brewers Community Foundation, Cecilia Gore, says they have a specific goal in mind with all of their charity events throughout the Brewers season.
We focus on health, education, recreation, and basic needs. The Humane Society hits that on a number of levels. As you know, pets are an important part of health for people. They provide recreation. There's some educational benefits related to the Humane Society and pets in general, so they're a good partner for us.
And the fact that they're looking to the awesome Brewers fans means it's kind of a match made in heaven.
During COVID, I think that it really proved out to be a fact that pets play a really important role in the lives of many, many people, and we have many dog, cat, and other animal lovers in our organization along with our fans, and we thought that that would be a good starting point for us to partner with Wisconsin Humane Society.
So what exactly is needed? Media coordinator for the Wisconsin Humane Society, Stacy Oatman, says there's a big old list, as they're always in need.
Items such as those soft dog treats that they love to have so much, potty pads, peanut butter, unscented baby wipes we use a lot in the shelters, dog toys, any kind of food, and cat litter.
By the way, that peanut butter has a caveat.
Peanut butter sometimes is made with xylitol. It's a sweetener, and that can be very toxic to pets. So you want to watch that on the label. Make sure that your peanut butter doesn't have any of that. Of course, if you do donate peanut butter and you forgot to check the label, that's not a problem. We do have people that go through very carefully and make sure that all the peanut butter is going to be safe for our animals.
And there are some things they can't take no matter how bad they would like to.
Opened bags of food. We just need to be incredibly safe and use bags that are sealed. And we also wouldn't be able to take some medications. So a lot of people have leftover medications if unfortunately an animal passes away or if they just got extra that they don't need anymore. But those are not something that we're going to be able to take for use in the shelter.
Of course, the donation list is pretty long, so if you'd like to check it out yourself, you can visit WTMJ.com and we'll have it posted there. We also have a monetary donation link and QR code if you'd like to help that way.
Our largest expenses are for animal care in the shelters, as well as medications and veterinary expenses. So most of the animals that come through the Wisconsin Humane Society need medical care beyond the standard vaccinations and spay and neuter surgeries. That monetary donation goes very, very far for animals in need.
Here's what we're planning. On Thursday, April 4th, we're having a pet supplies and donation charity drive-through drive. The Wisconsin Humane Society and Brewers Community Foundation will be out at Hellfair Field in the Cooper Lot driveway collecting donated items as well as money. I'll even be out there from 7 a.m. till about noon. So come on out and say hi. Bring your fur babies too so I can say hi to them too. Love me some pet loving. Also, you won't be driving off empty-handed.
The first 250 fans who donate at the drive will receive a Brewers hat and 2 free tickets to a game, as well as a Pat Murphy and Ricky Weeks commemorative pin.
If you can't make it to the drive-through drive, don't sweat it. They'll be collecting throughout the homestand.
It'll be an in-stadium collection, so if you're coming to the game, you can bring a pet supply and or $10, and you'll also get one of those commemorative pins.
I feel like we can beat last year's numbers. After collecting over $5,600 and 5 pallets of supplies last year, the bar is set pretty high, but I think we can do it. Come on, Milwaukee and Brewers fans, let's help out the Wisconsin Humane Society and donate. Debbie Laziga, WTMJ News.
It's a good little thing.
I love
that. That's cool. Me too. 413 at WTMJ. The feedback on the referendum continues. Former Superintendent William Androkopoulos is with us live. Up next on WTMJ.
Woo! Hey, this is Ben Brust from Kyle Brust and Ortman on ESPN Wisconsin. People can't stop screaming about the Screamin' Sicilian frozen pizza, and no wonder. There's plenty to scream about, like the buttery stone-fired crust, secret recipe tomato sauce, mounds of whole milk mozzarella, and tons of premium toppings. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer and find out for yourself why Sport called Screamin' Sicilian's Holy Pepperoni frozen pizza the best of the best. Screamin' Sicilian. Taste what all the screamin' is about.
John Mercure here for Sit Means Sit Dog Training. I love my dogs. They're like children at home, right? I'm not a lot like raising kids. I found that the dogs didn't always listen to me. And much like raising kids, when that happens, it was usually my fault. I'm better now. My dogs are better now. Sit Means Sit Dog Training is the best. Started with a free consultation. Matt, the owner of Sit Means Sit, met me, met the dogs. It was a great fit. We started our training, and I soon discovered Sit Means Sit Dog Training has the best techniques and the best trainers. They're simply the best. It's a piece of cake. It's Sit Means Sit dog training. You too can have a happy, confident, obedient dog. SitMeansSitWaukesha.com. Check them out today. Sit Means Sit.
Spectrum Business is made to work like your small business. Made to do it all with fast, ultra-reliable internet, phone, and mobile services. And made to work with a small business budget. Get 600 megabit per second business internet for just $49.99 a month for 1 year with select bundles. Plus, get an unlimited mobile line for free. Visit Spectrum.com/work to lock in this deal now. Learn more at Spectrum.com/work. Restrictions apply. Services not available in all areas.
Another MVP has joined the roster at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Dr. Michael Nolte. Expertscape recently named him part of the top 1% of spine expertise in the world. Dr. Nolte has published over 50 peer-reviewed articles in leading scientific journals and authored more than 100 national presentations. They added this MVP specialist for orthopedic, neurosurgical, and spine care because at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference.
Traffic and weather, Debbie Lazaga, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, John. Things slowing down quite a bit. We've got an accident in the Mitchell interchange on southbound 43. Technically, southbound 4394 connecting to 94 southbound. Right lane is blocked through the Mitchell interchange, so that's going to be affecting your ride there. Also on the northbound side, slowing down basically from Edgerton all the way through the Mitchell onto westbound 894, where of course we have that construction zone happening all the way to 68th Street. Southbound 894 had very heavy ride from Greenfield Avenue all the way down and around the Hale. Does not really let up until you get past 84th Street, so pack your patience and factor that into your ride. Hey, while you're out navigating the roads as quickly and safely as possible, if you do happen to see something we should know about, give us a call on the WTMJ Hall Volkswagen Traffic Tip Line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, clear skies, a little chilly, a low 27 degrees. Tomorrow, increasing clouds. And then rain at night, a high of 52. On Saturday, rain in the morning, a high of 54. On Sunday, afternoon rain, a high of 44. On Monday, a chance for rain, a high of 45 degrees. Right now in Milwaukee, clear skies and 46 degrees. So Milwaukee Public Schools is asking voters to approve a $252 million referendum. This is a lot of money. For a $200,000 home, that's an increase of $432 in taxes for that home. Seems like everybody's weighing in. The mayor and county executives say they're in favor of the referendum. Most organized groups in town say they are not in favor of the referendum. And a very credible voice is William Andrikopoulos, longest-serving superintendent in MPS history, and he is with us this afternoon exclusively on WTMJ. Bill, thank you so much for spending some time with us.
No problem, John. Thanks for having me on.
MPS has never given a detailed explanation of how the money would be used, and that's where a lot of the criticism comes in. But when I read your op-ed in the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, that is not your major criticism about why this should not be passed. Why do you believe the referendum is not a good idea?
There's two sides of that. My first side is about the city of Milwaukee. The city of Milwaukee, do they have the capacity to continue to have tax increases? What's the limit? You have a city that one is second on the list of 50 highest poverty level. You have a city that is ninth highest on property tax. Those two ratios together, economists say, are leading to people leaving the city, not drawing the population or increasing it. So that's one concern. And then, of course, the devastation on poor families. They don't have the ability to escape. You know, their rent's going to go up. That's a major issue. Then the other issue is MPS has $1.5 million, and they've done some great things to control costs, like getting rid of the second pension and modifying health care, eliminating the retiree health care plans to alter transportation. But their facilities issue, they're putting way too much money in brick and mortar, and I'd rather put money in the classroom, educating students. And that's the main issue I have with MPS. And plus, I have an issue after recently with the budget director coming out and saying that the deficit isn't that high. And what the Public Policy Forum came out, and they said MPS had a surplus the last 2 years, and they questioned their vacancy turnover rate and how 1 year they had a high one. Now this year they're saying next year they're going to fill all those positions. There's just so many unanswered questions about where they're at budgetarily. But more importantly, I'm not investing in brick and mortar. I'm investing in students and classrooms.
Well, that's the one thing Wauwatosa Schools was thinking about. Instead of going to a referendum, you even talked about this. You think about closing some of the schools before you go to referendum. Is that what you're suggesting?
That's exactly what I'm suggesting. The other 5 urban districts in Wisconsin all have gone out for referendum, but prior to that, they've consolidated, merged, or closed schools. I closed 28 schools when I was superintendent. I think the district has even opened schools over the last 10, 12 years, even though their enrollment is continuing to decline. And some of those schools that they've opened up have a limited enrollment. I looked yesterday at the data. There are 5 elementary schools that have less than 200 students. There are 4 middle schools that have less than 300. And there are large comprehensive high schools that have less than 400 students on every given day. If you factor in attendance, they have around 300 or less than 300 students in these large buildings that they're heating.
Bill Andrikopoulos is with us. Bill, this part I don't understand. I just literally don't understand. Is this the district wants to hold on to their kingdom? They want to hold on to real estate? They need a bigger footprint? Why is this happening? Take us inside that argument. I don't understand this. What you're saying seems like such common sense.
It seems like common sense. So if something doesn't seem like common sense, then what do people say? Well, it sounds political, right?
Yeah.
You know, MPS has always, and this was there when I was a teacher, principal, and a superintendent, there's always the fear of the competition. So if there's always this fear that if we close schools, and who's going to take the buildings? Our competition is going to take the buildings, and therefore, you know, it's going to drain students. But, you know, the competition out there is building new buildings. There's a tremendous amount of capital money. Just look what's going on at Cardinal Stritch. They're investing $100 million out there for new schools. So I think some of this has been political. It's unfortunate, but that's just the way school system operates. You're right. From a logical point of view, from a fiscal point of view, why not downsize? Why not put the most resources you can on the students that you have instead of in brick and mortar? And why don't you reallocate those resources to students so you can drive achievement, increase accountability, increase support?
So what I'm hearing is there may be a fear that if they close the schools, then the parents might decide, okay, I'll just have my child go to the nearest charter school.
That's possible, but at the same time, if you go to the school community like we did and said, hey, we're going to merge your school or close your school, but we're going to take the resources and we're going to be able to give you more resources because we're allocating those resources to another school, and your child will benefit academically and socially because they'll be with more students. Currently, I have colleagues and friends that are walking in and out of the school system, and they go into some schools, high schools or middle schools or elementary schools, and there's 7, 8 students in the classroom because the enrollment in the school is so low. That's not healthy for students to have classrooms that have such few students in them.
Former MPS Superintendent Bill Andrikopoulos is with us. Dr. Keith Posley told us, sitting in this studio, that some of the money would go to hire new teachers. But it's not as easy as you get a pot of money and you can hire new teachers, is it?
Absolutely not. Not in today's environment. You know, in Arizona, where I live, 33% of the classrooms are filled with unlicensed teachers. In the last referendum, MPS had a whole slate of teachers that they were going to hire. They only were able to hire 74% of them. The district last year increased their vacancy turnover rate so they could balance their budget. Now this year, they're saying they're going to hire all these teachers. Well, they had a difficult time hiring teachers. They went globally and hired 157 teachers internationally. It's difficult. Besides that, there's competition for teachers. I don't know if people are aware of this, but in the suburbs, they're having signing bonuses to attract teachers, and there's high level of recruitment. Some of that is taking resources and teachers away from Milwaukee. So it's very difficult. In today's environment, not many young people are going into education.
Hey, Bill, we've got less than a minute. I know that's not enough time for this question, but please do your best. Is the system to fund schools broken? 85% of schools will have gone to referendum in the past 2 decades.
You know, it's broken. I always want to focus on how much money do I have and then how do I spend it. There's always going to be complaints about this has gone on for 50 years, that there's never enough money in education or never enough money in government. But the bigger question is, what are you doing with the money you have? I think people have good reasons to go out for bond referendums for building improvements. I think those are excellent. I'm a little concerned with ongoing money for ongoing revenue. So it's a balanced question. I don't know particularly what's going on in every other district, but I do know in MPS right now, I think before they go to referendum, they need to right-size their district and focus on the resources that they have before they go out and really have a negative impact on poor families that are struggling right now to put food on the table. Now they're asking them to pay more in rent and taxes.
Bill Andrikopoulos is the longtime superintendent of MPS. Thank you so much for giving us your perspective.
Thank you for having me on.
It is
care.
424 at WTMJ. Business headlines coming up here in just a minute. First, I want to tell you about an incredible trip. Michelle and I are taking listeners to the magical Christmas markets of Europe. This is going to be fantastic. It's this December. It's the first week in December. It's a bunch of nights at a cool hotel in Austria. Then we go out to medieval towns like Salzburg, Oberammergau, and Munich. A train ride to the Alpine mountain village of Seefeld. A horse-drawn Christmas sleigh ride. A photo stop at the fairy tale Neuschwanstein Castle. This is an incredible itinerary. I'd love for you to be with us. Dinner in the oldest restaurant in Europe. That's part of this trip. Won't you come with us? I've got a beautiful brochure. Let me send it to you. It's so easy. You send me an email, I send you the brochure. John.Mercure@WTMJ.com. John.Mercure@WTMJ.com. Lots of hot chocolate, mulled wine, great food, time for Christmas shopping. John.Mercure, MERCURE@WTMJ.com. You send me an email, I send you the brochure. It's got the itinerary in there. It's got the pricing. It's got all that stuff. I'd love for you to be with us. Magical Christmas markets this early December. Nonstop flights from Chicago. It's easy. John.Mercure, MERCURE@WTMJ.com. Christmas markets in Austria this December.
I'm attorney David Gruber. You've heard our slogan thousands of times, but we are much more than just one call. We are one team, one community, one family, and we're the one law firm that can get you the results and compensation you deserve after a serious accident. Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
We find the best way to protect and uphold the reputation of our business is to hire good people and then take care of them. We really do love the people that work for us, and we care about what's in their best interest. And what that means to you is this: who do you really want on your job? Someone who's maybe underpaid or doesn't feel appreciated, might not have paid vacations or great work benefits? Our folks have all of these things and more. Vito and I make sure they feel appreciated, because happy people do happy work. There's a culture we're building here at Semper Fi that brings respect back to a very hard job. And that's why we know that our crews are going to do the kind of work that you expect. This is Brad Youngbluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Steve and Ashley heard our radio ads over the years, and when it came time to buy their first home, clicked on the blue button. One of our senior loan consultants, Brad, sent them a credit-verified pre-approval the same day, and then upgraded to a rock-solid, fully verified and guaranteed pre-approval shortly thereafter. They made a couple offers without success, and then Brad told them about AccuNet's new property-specific pre-approval, where we might be able to include those magic words, "no appraisal required." When they wrote their next offer, several $1,000s over asking to make sure someone else didn't end up sleeping in their dream home, their property-specific rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval included that most powerful phrase, "no appraisal required," and the sellers picked Steve and Ashley's offer over several others. If you think all mortgage lenders and pre-approvals are the same, think again. Go with a local mortgage lender that has the tools and know-how to help you win and save money, too. Click on the blue button today at accunet.com.
Time for the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Mostly in the green today. The S&P ended up 5 points. The Dow was up 47 on the day. The NASDAQ did drop at the end of the day. It was up most of the day, but it ended down 20 points. It's a great time for your retirement and investment strategy review from a fee-only fiduciary. Go to annexwealth.com. Click the Get Started button today. That's Annex Wealth Management. It's that weird time of year, right, where The furnace is still going. The AC is going to be going soon. I just saw the 14-day outlook for temperature. It's going to be well above normal here in Wisconsin. It's time to make sure that your systems are ready to go. Dave Drakamp Heating can take good care of you. If you live in Wisconsin, you know the temperature swings and weather can be crazy. Dave Drakamp knows that too because they've been here for 42 years. They've lived and worked here. It's Dave Drakamp Heating. They've been coming to my house for more than a decade. By your side, ready and prepared for when anything happens with our Wisconsin weather. Whether you're experiencing a home comfort dilemma, just call Dave Drakamp. Need a free estimate for a new system? Call Dave Drakamp. Or routine maintenance to ensure your system is ready for anything. That's a great idea this time of year. Call Dave Drakamp. Dave Drakamp Heating, because your comfort is their family's tradition. I know. We've been with them for a very long time, and I trust them in our house. Dave Drakamp Heating. Check them out at davedrakamp.com.
The NBA app is everyone's app. Every fan of every team.
Oh, my goodness.
Everyone who follows LeBron, Tatum, and Embiid in the app. Every warrior who's ready to go to battle over three-point percentages. Every streetwear king who's here for the tunnel fits. Every young buck, nugget, and grizzly who wants to take a peek behind the scenes of the league. And everyone else on this floating basketball we call Earth. Download the NBA app today. Available in the Google Play, Apple app, and Android stores.
Griffin is your one-stop shop this March. For just $179.95, enjoy an oil change, tire rotation, air filter, wiper blades, multi-point inspection, battery check, and heat inspection. North, south, or west, wherever you are in town, Griffin guarantees to cover your automotive needs. Call or visit us today for details and restrictions. Griffin, your spring drive starts here.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Veterans benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Brave Americans who served shouldn't be denied benefits or have a disability claim incorrectly evaluated by the VA. If you're one of those vets, call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 4:31. I'm John Mercure. Your top story, week 5 of searching for Elijah Vu.
I'm Julia Fellow. Donations needed for furry friends.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. 94 southbound, the collector ramp right at the Mitchell interchange got an accident on it. The right lane is blocked, so that's starting to back things up through the Plainfield curve right now, so be prepared for that. As a matter of fact, it's backed up all the way out of the Marquette interchange, so yeesh. Northbound on 43, we've got backups from before Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Keith. Westbound 94, slow from 16th Street all the way to Hawley Road, with the eastbound side slowing down from about 84th Street all the way through to about 35th. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Right now it's 43 degrees, clear. The low will be chilly, 27 degrees. Tomorrow is cloudy with rain chances in the evening. The high will be 43 at the lake and 52 inland.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, another search effort concludes today for missing 3-year-old Elijah Vu. Vu has not been found over a month after his disappearance. Two Rivers police say a 70-team operation conducted a drone search, checking large areas, including assistance from sheriff's departments across Wisconsin and the Wisconsin DOJ's Division of Criminal Investigation. Last week, police, the DNR, and local farmers conducted a large search operation in the Choteau area.
A 6-year-old boy shot by a stray bullet is now home and recovering. TMJ4's Mary Jo Ola spoke with his family.
Zaleen Sims keeps replaying the terrifying moment her 6-year-old son TJ was hit by a stray bullet near 38th Street and Aurora Avenue. Zaleen had just told TJ that he could play one more video game before bed.
And I was sitting on the bed getting ready to read a book to my daughter, and that's when we heard the gunshots, and I was trying to tell him to get down on the floor and grab them and get out the room. That's when they started coming through the house.
Zaleen then realized that TJ, her little boy that loves Spider-Man and school, wasn't behind her.
My daughter was trying to get the words out that he was shot, and I grabbed him.
The 6-year-old uses a little walker to get around as he recovers. Milwaukee police say the home was not targeted.
Getting a chance at the American dream of homeownership. Washington County Executive Josh Schoeman explains to WTMJ the Hardin Homestead Earned Down Payment Incentive.
We provide up to $20,000 or 10% of a purchase price for a home as a down payment. And the incentive has a 5-year earn back opportunity where, they can volunteer time to local nonprofit and they can earn the equivalent of $25 for every hour that they volunteer.
Eligible homes must be under $420,000.
The Brewers Community Foundation and Wisconsin Humane Society has teamed up for their annual supply drive.
Animal lovers assemble. The Brewers Community Foundation, Wisconsin Humane Society, and News Radio WTMJ is teaming up to collect pet supplies and money for the Wisconsin Humane Society.
Those soft dog treats, potty pads, peanut butter, dog toys, any kind of food, and cat litter.
Media coordinator for the Wisconsin Humane Society, Stacy Oatman, says it all goes to a good cause.
Our largest expenses are for animal care in the shelters, as well as medications and veterinary expenses.
Debbie Loziga, WTMJ News.
Join us April 4th from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Hellfair Field for a drive-through collection.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Opening day in Major League Baseball. Brewers Mets postponed today. They'll play tomorrow. Coverage on WTMJ at 12:05. And the Bucks in New Orleans tonight against the Pelicans. Coverage here begins at 6 o'clock on WTMJ.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 4:35.
Heiser Automotive has slam dunk deals this month. Our team has your back, and we'll make sure the process of servicing your vehicle or purchasing a new vehicle goes smoothly and without a turnover. Plus, we will be awarding our MVPs with our exclusive Safe and Sound program, which is included on each vehicle sale. See all details at Heiser.com. After your visit, you'll feel like you've made the winning shot. At Heiser, today's your day.
See dealer for complete details.
Listen to The Fix-It Show this Saturday morning in the 7 o'clock hour with special guest Chris Mancuso from Accurate Basement Repair. Chris will discuss and answer questions about basement problems and solutions. Accurate Basement Repair serves all of southeastern Wisconsin with comprehensive, cost-effective basement repairs, including foundation restoration and waterproofing. Check them out online at AccurateBasementRepair.com and listen to The Fix-It Show this Saturday starting at 7 a.m. with Accurate Basement Repair's Chris Mancuso.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on News Radio 620 WTMJ. It is 4:36. Bucks Insiders with play-by-play guy David Kane is coming up in just a couple of minutes on WTMJ. I love surveys. It's one of the things I just love. I love lists. I love surveys. I love all that sort of stuff. There is a new list out. They ranked the top travel destination by state. So in other words, the list has all 50 states, and then it lists the top places that people are interested in traveling. And some are domestic, some are international. People could choose any place that they wanted. The way that they came up with the list was they looked at every state and they looked at travel destinations that were most Googled. And that's how they came up with the list. So the analysis reveals that Italy was the most popular destination in the most amount of states. So more states than any other said, Italy. We want to go to Italy. Hawaii was the second most searched travel destination across the United States.
Oh, I had the best time on my honeymoon there.
Isn't that a beautiful place?
The best. The
Stunning.
colors hurt my eyes. And I came back here in October and everything was gray. Gray and cloudy. Didn't
No
see
colors,
the sun.
from lots of colors to no colors. The third top destination amongst states was the Caribbean. So a lot of people searching for the Caribbean. Fourth place, Ireland, Bali, and Japan. They all tied. So that was fourth place. Ireland, Bali, and Japan. So what about Wisconsin? What is the number one Googled searched destination for folks who live in Wisconsin?
I thought Florida.
Yeah, this kind of surprised me. It's Norway.
Yeah, what?
We're the only state that picked Norway as the top destination.
Why? Did we figure this out?
They say it's in part because there's Norwegian heritage in our state, but they don't really have a good reason why, like a more detailed reason. But that surprised me. I went to Norway last year with 40 listeners, and it was stunning. It's like Alaska, but on steroids. Alaska's beautiful. You have the glaciers. You have the inner passage where there's ice-capped mountains on both sides. Norway's like that, but bigger. It's incredible.
Oh, wow.
It's really, really stunning. But I was surprised that it's the top place for our state. What about those folks in Illinois, just down to the south of us? Italy is number one at their list. You know, the number one domestic location was Hawaii. Right behind Hawaii was Vegas.
Oh, that's right.
Right? That's an easy trip.
We have direct flights.
Yeah. So a lot of people want to go to Vegas. Have you been to Ireland?
I would love to. I
You'd
would die.
love it. It's so beautiful. Speaking of colors, it's so green. The 40 shades of green they say they have, and they really do.
Oh, I can't.
It's so beautiful.
That's my numero uno destination I want to go to next.
Surrounded by water on every side. It is really, really special. If you get the chance, you should check that out. So that's it. Norway for us.
What's your next spot you want to go to, John?
And near the top of our list right now, I want to go to Egypt, and we had a trip planned to Egypt. I'd love to see the pyramids, the Sphinx, the Nile River. And it had to get canceled because of the war, with Israel.
I'd say so.
All the refugees and the aid is now going through Egypt to get there. So Egypt's at the top of the list. I'd love to go to Croatia. That looks really beautiful. Or back to Africa.
My husband's coworker went to Egypt after Christmas. And
oh, wow, yeah.
He had a translator with him, and some people would drop him off, and the translators wouldn't go in because there were so many people visiting and looking at all of the tombs and everything.
Interesting.
That I'm like, could you see anything? Was there any directions on what things were? He's like, no, they gave you a roundabout of what you're looking at, and then you just walk in yourself, and then you walk back out.
So, see, this is one of the great things about traveling with Colette, the company we travel with. There's a tour manager with us the whole time, and they go into every single place. And you have these little headsets. They're called Whisperers. And it's a little headset, and then the tour manager has a microphone on his. And so he talks to you the whole time, like, on this wall, you can see the hieroglyphics that depict that the family in Egypt. And you have a headset on, so you don't even have to be crowded around so you can hear them. You can be off like 20 or 30 feet away, kind of wandering around, looking around. And with the headset, you can hear everything.
Because otherwise you'll say, I can't hear what
That's
you're
right.
saying.
Speak up. What's at the top of your list? Where would you go? If you could get a plane ticket to anywhere tomorrow, where would you go?
London.
Oh, yeah.
And then Ireland.
Okay. And a lot of people do that on the same trip. You can do both of those because they're so close to each other. Oh. London's really a cool city.
I didn't realize how huge it is. I mean, I should have, but I didn't realize it was bigger than New York. I mean, it's really massive.
Yeah, it is for sure.
And I love the Royals, of course.
Yeah, so see, that'd be perfect. So then you would have to do a trip like out to the country. So last time we were in London, we did a couple things. We went to Windsor Castle, which was really, really cool. And they went to Sandringham. I think that's
Sandringham?
Is that in Scotland? Where is that one?
I know that Edinburgh is in Scotland.
Yeah.
I'd love to go to Scotland.
And it was cool. We went to this castle and we had dinner. We were this special group. And it's a castle that the Royals still use, and they only let like 5 groups in there every quarter.
John, I'm so jealous.
Check this out. We were in there, and one of the rooms we were in had pictures up of like
family?
Charles and Camilla. They had pictures up, and we said, you just put those up to stage it, right? And it was a room we couldn't go in, but you could like see through another room. They said, no, that's the room that they usually spend their time in, so we just leave that room how it is when they're here. It was crazy. You would love it.
Oh, my gosh, I'd die.
That's
I want to see the
amazing.
royal tiara, all of it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. It is 4:42 at WTMJ. Coming up, Bucks Insiders, and during the 5 o'clock hour, Vince Vitrano with a powerful feature on MS. Most people know somebody impacted by MS. We'll do that. Plus, food trucks could be back in a popular area of downtown Milwaukee, and the alderman heading up that effort will be with us live during the 5 o'clock hour. It is 4:42. Debbie helps get you home up next.
Tony Drake here from Drake & Associates. Big news. Our retirement-ready radio show is moving to a new time slot. Catch us at noon every Saturday. At Drake & Associates, we craft tailor-made plans that not only meet your financial needs, but align seamlessly with your unique lifestyle. Tune in at noon on Saturdays and get retirement ready.
Drake & Associates, LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates, LLC does not provide legal or tax advice.
It's Easter weekend, a very special family holiday. WTMJ's John Merck here. I've got a very special place that you can take your family. Don't cook and clean on Easter. Relax. Enjoy your family and the Good Friday fish fry at the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club. It's one of the best. It's all you care to eat. All other dinners are buy one, get one free. Order your favorite seafood, steak, pasta, the beef short ribs, prime rib on Saturday. Your second dinner is free. Even on Easter weekend, they do this. Don't have plans for tonight? It's 4:43. Hop in your car, get to the Fox and Hounds. You're going to absolutely love it. They will fit you in. Desserts and ice cream drinks? Yeah. They're also buy one, get one free. Buy one, get one free. Sip on a hand-muddled old-fashioned, a fine bourbon, or 100 wines as you dine in one of the 8 elegant dining rooms. It's going to be a fantastic weekend for your family. Have a fantastic time at the Fox and Hounds. Right there in the heart of the Kettle Moraine Forest, it is a one-of-a-kind gem. Just off Highway 167, 2 miles east and in the shadows of the famous Holy Hill Shrine. The drive is spectacular. Reserve now for your Good Friday, all-you-care-to-eat fish fry, and your free dinner this Easter weekend. FoxandHoundsRestaurant.com.
Increase in taxes while families are paying more for everything from gas to groceries is wrong. Milwaukee voters should oppose increase in property taxes by nearly 30% in order to provide increased funding, yet again, to Milwaukee public schools. They've already wasted nearly $1 billion in new taxpayer funding, and now they want more? They don't even have a plan on how they'll spend it. Enough is enough. Milwaukee voters should just say no.
Paid for by Enough is Enough. Vote no.
Your nose is for breathing. Your mouth is for eating. And if you're breathing through your mouth, it's not because your body wants to. It's because it has to, because your nose isn't working properly. And although you've lived like this, it's no way to live, and it's having a significant impact on your life. I know you know this, and I know that taking action isn't always convenient. But at Advent, we've done all we can to make changing your life for the better as easy as possible. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula. With tens of thousands of our patients, a thorough breathing triangle evaluation, along with a simple 20-minute in-office procedure called balloon sinuplasty, has opened their nasal passages, allowing them to breathe freely through their nose for good. And there's a good chance this procedure can do the same for you. We'll help you breathe through your nose again, and it will change your life.
Go to AdventKnows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Traffic and weather. Debbie Loziga, how's that ride rolling?
Well, we've got an accident now on 4394 southbound just past Beecher. The right lane is blocked with that, so obviously we've got backups stretching all the way into the Marquette interchange. On the northbound side of 43, backing up from Fond du Lac Avenue up to Keefe, as per usual. Southbound on 894, you got a broken down vehicle on the off-ramp to Lincoln from 894 southbound. Delays basically from just before Greenfield down past that point. Stays kind of heavy all the way down and around the Hale interchange. Does not let up till you get past 84th Street. And of course, you got your backups on 894 westbound coming out of the Mitchell interchange all the way to about 68th Street. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, clear, chilly, a low of 27 degrees. Tomorrow, rain, a high of 52. Saturday, morning rain, a high of 54. On Sunday, afternoon rain, a high of 44. On Monday, a chance for rain, a high of 45 degrees. In Milwaukee right now, sunny skies and 45 degrees.
For all you need to know on and off the court, it's Bucks Insiders on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
We are excited to be joined by David Kane. He is the play-by-play guy for the Bucks on WTMJ. Dave, thank you so much for being with us.
Hey, glad to be with you guys. Always enjoy it. How you guys doing today?
Excellent. So game tonight. Where are you right now? What's this day before the game like for Dave Kane?
Well, so day of a game, it's contingent obviously on city and weather, but it's a beautiful day here in New Orleans. So I sit here thinking to myself, I got to get outside. I'm along the banks of the Mississippi River as we catch up with you guys a little bit ahead here of the game. But, yeah, beautiful day, walking around, going to go stroll around the French Quarter a little bit and get a little feel for the local flair here today.
I'm so jealous. You get to stay at the same hotel as the Bucks?
Yeah, I am. I'm at the same hotel, so we're in a great location here, and it's about 70 degrees, not a cloud in the sky. So as the old Harbaugh boys would say, who's got it better than us? Nobody.
So beignets, will you get to stroll around a little bit? Will you grab something to eat?
Yeah. So last night we got a good meal in. I went out with Lisa and some of our other media crew here last night, and we went and grabbed some good. I guess it would be kind of Cajun food. Yeah, a place called, and it was funny, we were joking about it because it's called Cochin. So we were like, this is Craig Cochin's place, I guess, but it's not. No relation, but it was excellent. It was, it was. Joel Myers had given us a recommendation for it. So he lives down here. He does the Pelicans broadcast, and we figured if Joel knows, it's probably pretty good, and it lived up to it. So it was great. But I'm not a big beignet guy, I have to say. For whatever reason, I gave it a try, but not my thing as much.
What are you looking at right now?
I'm looking at the river. In fact, I'm right close to where that can't remember the name of the cathedral, the church that's right outside of the French Quarter. That's kind of their famous Sentinel spot in the middle of town.
Oh,
so I'm literally probably 200 feet from there right now.
I want to ask you, Dave, so tough loss against the Lakers. I watched the game, and a great game. I mean, an entertaining basketball game, disappointing loss for the Bucks. What do you take away from that game? Double overtime, then they got to get on the road and go to New Orleans. How's the team feel after that game, do you believe?
Yeah, I think this team takes it in stride. I really do. They're competitors. They want to win that game, no question about it. They were frustrated they didn't get it. But I think you're more frustrated if you lose a game like that come May, even June or late April as the playoffs approach. But, it's that time where they're trying to just establish still, I mean, it's crazy to say this with only 11 games left, but really who they are, because that identity, not many teams have had as many shifts over the course of this season as this group has, with all the new players that came in at the beginning of the season, obviously a new coach and coaching staff, and then you switch the coaching staff again in January, and then you're getting guys back. Chris Middleton finally back after missing 16 games. So it's 3 games, maybe I can't remember, it's 3 or 4 now that Doc has had all 5 of his preferred starters at his disposal. So with that group, they're still trying to figure things out a little bit. One thing I think you take away from that game, though, is that ball movement's got to be there. I mean, they've got so many guys that can beat you on their own and with individual performances, but it's not as much of a preferred option as when you're rotating it around. You're going from good shots to great shots, and that's kind of sort of been the mantra. But I'll say this. I talked to Brooke Lopez this morning at our shoot-around, and I taped something for our pregame show, and folks can hear it, in that 30 minutes going up to the game. But one of the things that I took away from that conversation, I think you can hear it. I'll be interested to see if folks can hear it in the interview. There's a really positive energy right now, and I could sense it from Brooke. I could tell he feels good about where this team is and where it's going, and that starts with defense, which is something we weren't talking about a lot. Well, we were talking about it, and the fact that it wasn't there earlier this season. But he said to me, that's who this team needs to be. That's been our identity, and that's where we've got to start from. And now we're getting back to that point where we're trusting the other guy's going to be behind you if someone gets by you, and we're just playing on a string together more. And I think that's going to be critical for this group. But I do think the energy is good.
What do you think about Giannis calling out the officiating after that Lakers game?
As subtly as he possibly could, without getting fined. Yeah, no, that was well played by Giannis from that perspective, because he got his point across without having to go too far down that road. But yeah, no, look, that was a game where they didn't call much, period. And I thought for most of the game they were pretty consistent. There were some cases where they did call stuff, though, I thought late. And all you're after is consistency from those guys more than anything. And if you're gonna call it loose on one side, you better do it on the other side. And I thought for most of the game they did. There were a couple calls late that I thought really got under my skin, maybe even more than that one where they didn't call the foul with Giannis trying to get that game winner, because that was sort of the way that game had been called most of the game. But then you see a touch foul on Dame. I think it was Beasley may have gotten his hands on another one that was a touch foul.
Yep.
And those are the ones that frustrate me when it goes against the grain of how you've been officiating the rest of it. But these guys are human. They're going to make mistakes too sometimes.
I remember interviewing an NFL rep back in the day, and I know this is NBA, but he was saying that even in the Super Bowl, there are times where the refs do not see everything. They can't see it all.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, there's the human element. I mean, these are not robots. We don't have, what is it, the Hawkeye judging everything like you see at the U.S. Open, although they're starting to incorporate some of that more and more, and I think we'll start to see more of that moving forward. But I mean, that's just part of sports. I mean, there's human error on every part of it, whether it's the players, whether it's the officials, the broadcasters. Everybody makes mistakes from time to time, and you just hope it doesn't cost you the game at a pivotal time and in a pivotal part of the season.
Dave Kane with us on WTMJ. Dave, I wanted to ask you, with about a dozen games left, a little less than that, if you're Doc Rivers, how do you balance between staying healthy, making sure your guys are ready to go, and getting them to where you want them to be peaking as you head into the postseason?
I think you're going to see this team using most of their guys a bit more down the stretch run than we've typically seen under Mike Budenholzer the last few years because of the circumstances, the fact that I was talking about. You're still trying to, in some ways, establish your identity a little bit more here late in the season than maybe you otherwise would. So I think you'll see him lean on maybe playing these guys a little bit more down the stretch. But, we'll see. Obviously, you have to keep an eye on health. That is the number one priority for Doc Rivers. He said, look, we want to be playing great, but we really, really need to have our guys at our disposal. So that's going to be a priority, and some of that's just dumb luck. But you can help your odds, certainly, by being smart about when you play guys. So I don't know. We'll see that play out. Of course, this is a new coaching staff for all of us, so we're going to see how they operate. But how they operate this year may not necessarily translate to how they'll operate next year in the same time of the year, just by virtue of the fact that they will have been together for a longer period of time.
Bucks play-by-play guy Dave Kane in the Big Easy. Have a great call tonight, Dave. Thanks for being with us.
All right, guys. Always enjoy it. You guys have a great one.
Hey, if you want to hear any of the content of the show, including that interview if you didn't get the whole thing, or the exclusive interview we've had with Bill Andrikopoulos, the former MPS superintendent, it's easy. Text the word WAN. It's W-A-N. Text the word WAN to 855-616-1620. If you text the word WAN, it takes you right to our podcast page, and you can listen to all the content we've had on the show today and every day.
Yes, it takes you straight to the landing page. You can take a look at what happened today, yesterday. Even just a couple minutes ago, we were talking to the Milwaukee Business Journal about the relationship that boomers and Gen Z have in common, what they have in common.
Check it out. Text the word WAN, W-A-N. That's for Wisconsin's Afternoon News. Text the word WAN to 855-616-1620. Send you the podcast page. It's all right there. It's easy to consume, and it's fun stuff. It is 4:55 at WTMJ. Bucks Insiders has been sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and Best Electric.
Get 0% interest for up to 3 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. I'm Gina Della from Pella. Pella's free in-home consultations make replacing or redesigning your windows and doors easy. We go beyond just measuring and handing you a quote by listening and educating you on all of your product options. And with DesignWorks, you can see what your home will look like before you buy. Order by March 31st to get 0% interest for up to 3 years. Set your free consultation at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply.
Hey, 620 WTMJ fans, Gary Ellison here for my good friends over at Best Electric Services. They're family owned and operated and have been serving you for over 50 years. No job is too big or too small, whether it's making panel upgrades to your home, tuning up your generator, installing electric vehicle charging, or residential service calls. Best Electric provides quality services at fair prices. They are experienced and licensed electrical contractors ready to get to work. Connect with the Best Electric Service. Find out more at bestelect.com.
The owner of Pick and Save and Metro Markets gets criticized by the Federal Trade Commission for continuing pandemic-era price hikes. The agency alleges Kroger increases profits by maintaining elevated prices. The Milwaukee Brewers signed new sponsors at American Family Field for the 2024 season. On the list, Quick Trip, Jack Daniels, Culver's, Nicolay Law, Sherwin-Williams, and Red Bull. Construction machinery manufacturer Zoom Lion lays off 31 employees in Racine County community Yorkville. The company says it's restructuring operations. I'm Rich Kirchen with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Business headlines sponsored by the Pfister Hotel. Make your reservations today. Visit thepfisterhotel.com.
For over 130 years, the Pfister Hotel in downtown Milwaukee has been delighting guests with impeccable service and luxurious accommodations. Celebrate your next special occasion with a stay at the Pfister. Enjoy fine dining at its acclaimed restaurants and pamper yourself with a service from the Well Spa and Salon. Experience the hotel's afternoon tea program or take in live music with the best views of the city from Blue, the 23rd floor cocktail lounge. There's always a reason to celebrate with the Pfister Hotel. Make your reservations today at thepfisterhotel.com.
At Gruber Law Offices, we take great pride in helping those who have trusted us after a serious accident. Our team has the knowledge, resources, and experience to get you the results you deserve. Don't wait to get the help you need. Make the right call. Call Gruber Law Offices today. Proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
Griffin is your one-stop shop this March. For only $179.95, we offer an all-exclusive package to spruce up your ride. Get an oil change, tire rotation, air filter, wiper blades, multi-point inspection, battery check, and heat inspection. Griffin, your spring drive starts here.
It's here on consignment from over 10,000 nationwide partners. From very high-end, distinctive furniture, unique antiques and original art, to tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. Premium home decor priced right at 25 to 40% off retail prices. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Smart interior designers know that what they'll see here is going to be almost impossible to find anywhere else, especially at our consignment prices. Premium home decor that's gently loved and close to new. And what we carry can raise the wow factor of anyone's home decor. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Get your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval to buy at accunet.com.
Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, where you'll get the industry's hands-down best lifetime workmanship warranty on your new roof. And now free annual inspections.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
You can't beat Burkhart.
Sports lovers love us.
Why are people saying Hugh yeah to Jackson Hewitt? Find out before it's too late. Hurry into Jackson Hewitt today.
The Bucks head down to the Paris of America to take on the Pelicans.
Lillard goes into the air, and he knocks down the three. He thought he got fouled.
Our coverage starts tonight at 6 with Buck Shoot-Around on your home of the Milwaukee Bucks. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 5 o'clock. I'm John Mercure. Your top story, a death investigation of a 4-month-old.
I'm Julia Fellow from the Market Hall to the ballpark.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. We still have backups along southbound 43 stretching from Hampton down past Keith. And then from before Fond du Lac Avenue all the way down through the Marquette interchange, there is an accident on 4394 southbound right about at Beecher, just south of Beecher. The right lane is blocked with this, so that's why we're seeing those big delays. Northbound side slowing around the North Avenue curve up to Keith. Westbound 94, heavy from about the Marquette all the way to Hawley Road, with the eastbound side slowing from 84th Street through the stadium as well. And then on southbound 894, a heavy ride there from Greenfield Avenue down and around the Hale interchange. Hey, BRI's on the roads. Report accidents, slowdowns, and road conditions to the WTMJ Hall Volkswagen traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, clear and chilly, a low of 27 degrees. Tomorrow, early sunshine, then rain, a high of 50 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, police are investigating the death of an infant at a New Berlin in-home daycare center. A 4-month-old boy was found unconscious and not breathing at the home near 130th Street and Saginaw Avenue on Tuesday. The boy was taken to Children's Hospital of Wisconsin, where he later died. New Berlin police have not identified the business or implicated the owners with any crime as of today.
A second recall effort underway right now against Wisconsin Assembly Speaker Robin Voss. Matthew Snorek of Burlington filed paperwork with Wisconsin Elections Commission yesterday. This after his first effort was failing without enough signatures and allegations of widespread fraud, as the Racine County DA is still investigating. Supporters of Donald Trump are seeking to oust Voss over his criticism of Trump and his unwillingness to break the law and undo the 2020 Wisconsin presidential election. The new recall petitions are due by May 28th.
According to state law, early voting can only go until Sunday. With that being a holiday, City of Milwaukee is last offering the opportunity on Saturday for voters. Most municipalities will wrap up their early voting opportunities Friday. Check with your local clerk's office for information. Election Day is Tuesday, with the polls opening at 7 a.m.
I will ask the Board of Regents at its meeting next week for a 3.75% tuition increase at all of the universities of Wisconsin starting in the 24-25 academic year.
Universities of Wisconsin President Jay Rothman saying the percentage is on the line with the rate of inflation. Ask why the increase now?
It is not adding much in terms of dollars that we can invest in our future and in developing new programs and so forth. It is keeping us basically at the waterline that we're at today.
The Board of Regents meets on April 4th.
The closure of 2 University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee branch campuses leads to layoffs of tenured faculty. Universities of Wisconsin system policy states that faculty layoffs will be invoked only in extraordinary circumstances and after all feasible alternatives have been considered. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reports that this is the policy that UWM Chancellor Mark Monet applied to justify the faculty layoffs following the upcoming closures of the Washington County campus at the end of the year and the Waukesha campus in spring of 2025. The total number of layoffs at both campuses is still unknown.
Brewer fans heading to American Family Field for the home opener Tuesday will notice some new concession offerings in the right field.
You like brunch?
I sure do, Bob. But if arepas, pulled pork, sushi, or tacos are more your speed, you'll have those options this season at American Family Field's new 3rd Street Market Hall Annex. Brewers President of Business Operations Rick Schlesinger tells WTMJ that Annex will offer both food and game options to keep all fans entertained.
Some fans keep score and, focus on every pitch. Other fans like to go to different areas of the ballpark and pay attention, and some are here in a more casual environment and want to do other things besides just watch the game for 9 innings.
Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Coming up, sued for a house you never built.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 5:05.
Sponsored by Grandview Homes, the name you know, the name you trust. GrandviewHomes.com.
We asked people why they sold their homes to Grandview Homes instead of using a real estate agent.
We looked at a few businesses that purchase homes, and Grandview seemed to be the one that had it together. Not only did we receive a fair offer, but we were able to take as much time as we needed and could leave the house a mess.
Whether you have a hard-to-sell home, want a stress-free sale, or simply need to sell your home fast, Grandview Homes is the name you know and the name you can trust. Visit GrandviewHomes.com to discover the easiest and fastest way to sell a home.
Planning for the future should include your pets. What will happen to them if something happens to you? From setting up pet trusts, to securing a caretaker, to the best place to keep your pet's information, the Humane Animal Welfare Society, HAWS, has the important resources you need. Download a free pet planning guide at hawspets.org and watch our informational video titled Planning for Your Pet's Future to ensure you're prepared. Plan for your pets. Learn more at hawspets.org.
When Cynthia came to TurboTax, she just launched her new side gig, a true crime podcast.
I'm a first-rate detective with a golden voice.
As her TurboTax expert, I made her second income count by guaranteeing 100% accurate filing and her maximum refund.
What did she do with that refund? Find out next week.
Switch to Intuit TurboTax and make your moves count. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
Give the star in your life the brightest gift in the world. Name a star after them. This is Rocky Moselle with International Star Registry. For $59 and a call to 800-282-3333 or visit starregistry.com, you can name a star for birthdays, weddings, or even memorials. Over 45 years, we have named millions of stars for celebrities and individuals from around the world. The star you name will be recorded in book form in the U.S. Copyright Office. Visit starregistry.com or call 800-282-3333.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 5:07.
A legal battle underway over a $500,000 home built on the wrong land. ABC's Mark Remillard reports.
Ann Reynolds bought a 1-acre plot of land in Hawaii in 2018. The lot sat vacant as she lived in California. Well, last year she got a call from a real estate broker telling her he sold the house on her property, according to Hawaii News Now. The issue is she never built anything on the land. It turns out a local developer was building about a dozen homes nearby, and the builder put one of them on Reynolds' lot. Now the developer has sued her, the builder, and others. She's countersued and rejected the developer's offer to take a nearby lot of equal size. Mark Remillard, ABC News.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Opening day in Major League Baseball. Brewers and Mets were rained out in New York. They will play tomorrow. Coverage of the Brewers-Mets begins on WTMJ at 12:05. And the Bucks in New Orleans tonight against the Pelicans. Coverage begins at 6 o'clock on WTMJ. 4 games on the schedule as college basketball's tournament cranks back up tonight. Clemson and Arizona kick things off at 6:09. Marquette plays tomorrow. This college basketball tournament update is brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited. Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 5:08. It's Easter weekend, a very special family holiday. WTMJ's John Mercure here. I've got a special way to spend it. Don't cook and clean on Easter. Relax. Enjoy your family and the Good Friday fish fry at the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club, one of my favorite places. It's one of the best in all you care to eat. All other dinners are buy one, get one free. Order your favorite seafood, steak, pasta, the beef short ribs, prime rib on Saturday, and your second dinner's always free, even on Easter weekend. Desserts and ice cream drinks, they're great, and they're buy one, get one free. Sip on a hand-muddled old-fashioned, a fine bourbon, or choose from 100 wines as you dine in one of the 8 elegant dining rooms. The Fox and Hounds, right there in the heart of the Kettle Moraine Forest. It is a one-of-a-kind gem. Just off Highway 167, 2 miles east and in the shadows of the famous Holy Hill Shrine. The drive alone is spectacular. Reserve now for your Good Friday, all-you-can-eat fish fry, and your free dinner this Easter weekend. FoxandHoundsRestaurant.com. It's my favorite place, the Fox and Hounds.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John McCure and Julia Fellow.
All right, thanks for hanging out with us on this Thursday. A woman from Greendale is training to run across the state of Wisconsin, and it's only going to take her 6 days. March is Multiple Sclerosis Awareness Month, and Brittany Hines-Walters is using it to promote her fundraising efforts. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano tells us she has multiple reasons for making the trek.
It's a cross-country relay run. It covers 3,260 miles total. It starts in Santa Monica, California, and it ends in New York.
If I'm correct here, you're going to run essentially a marathon a day for a number of days straight?
Yes, exactly. So
how are you going to do that?
I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. But I haven't done anything like this before, so I'm really excited. But I've been training now. Total training will be about 10 months.
She's committed to raising at least $10,000 in the effort to better understand MS.
Multiple sclerosis, or MS, a potentially debilitating movement disorder, and it affects over 2.2 million people worldwide. And it's an autoimmune disease, which is characterized by damage to neurons in the central nervous system.
And those neurons are pretty important.
Since neurons are necessary for most human functions, how we think, feel, move, MS can lead to a range of symptoms. They're often unpredictable, things like movement slowing, weakness, pain, balance impairments, cognitive changes, depression.
A lot of information, and Brittany should know she's a PhD in kinesiology, an assistant professor of neuromechanics and motor control at Seattle University. This is what she does. And what are the chances her roommate from college was recently diagnosed with MS?
Still my dear friend, Lisa, she was diagnosed with MS a few years ago. And just her resilience and determination as she faced the challenges of her diagnosis. And then she also ran this same segment that I'll be running after her diagnosis. So she's really served as an inspiration for me to become involved with this organization and apply to do the run.
An inspiration to run from Platteville to Milwaukee, where fittingly the finish line party will be at a brewery.
Starting at 11 a.m. at City Lights Brewery in Milwaukee. So funds raised there will also go to the organization's mission.
Man, how glad are you going to be to have a beer?
Very glad. I'm glad that it ends at a brewery. I'm all for it.
Every stride one step closer to a cure for MS. Vince Vitrano, WTMJ News.
And Brittany's leg of the run comes in early July. If you want to learn more or help with her fundraiser, she's more than halfway to her $10,000 goal right now. Text the word RUN to the WTMJ Talk and Text line, 855-616-1620. Text the word RUN. We'll send you a link. You can help make a difference. Text the word RUN to 855-616-1620. It is 5:13 at WTMJ. Debbie helps get you home up next.
There's only one store that gives you every possible choice in diamonds.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Woo! Hey, this is Ben Brust from Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin. People can't stop screaming about the Screamin' Sicilian frozen pizza, and no wonder. There's plenty to scream about, like the buttery stone-fired crust, secret recipe tomato sauce, mounds of whole milk mozzarella, and tons of premium toppings. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer and find out for yourself why Sporked called Screamin' Sicilian's Holy Pepperoni Frozen Pizza the best of the best. Screamin' Sicilian. Taste what all the screamin' is about.
John Mercure here for Town Bank. Do you ever check your bank account and feel like you aren't saving at all? At Town Bank, they view banking differently, and they actually want to see your savings grow. They're not going to be proponents of just put it in a savings account. That's what you've always done. At Town Bank, with their amazing new CD rates, you can now earn even more, so you can sit back and relax. You can enjoy your life a little bit more. Stop banking the same way, expecting different results. Start earning more. It's Town Bank. I've been there for a very long time. They've got the best banking solutions, the best customer service. I've got total access checking, free ATM network across the country. When I go see my beautiful daughters in New York and Texas, I love those free ATMs. It comes in very, very handy. They've got a Junior Savers Club account for the kids. So they learn about banking. They learn about finances with cool, fun events. It's Town Bank. Go to townbank.us. Bank differently with Town Bank. Member FDIC. Wisconsin's bank. My bank. It is Town Bank.
I was born in Louisiana.
July of 1936. The world welcomed George Buddy Guy.
Buddy Guy, that is.
Now, after live performances spanning generations, the legend says goodbye. Buddy Guy, the Damn Right Encore. August 18th, the Riverside Theater.
The smoke is getting thick.
Tickets on sale Friday at 10 a.m. at PabstTheaterGroup.com. From the Damn Right Farewell Tour comes the Damn Right Encore. Buddy Guy, live.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Hurt at work? Call Tayback for the payback. An injury at work may leave you eligible for compensation benefits, including lost wages, coverage of medical bills, or a cash settlement. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Traffic and weather, Debbie Lazaga. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, John. Yeah, definitely seeing some backups on 4394 southbound, just south of Beecher. We still have this accident there. That is the right lane block. So that's backing things up back through the Marquette interchange, pretty much all the way up to North Avenue. We've also got northbound on 43 slowing from Fond du Lac up to Keefe. Southbound 894 slowing from Greenfield down and around the Hale interchange to 84th. The westbound side of 894, that's been rough all afternoon because of the construction zone, so it's tight from the Mitchell interchange all the way to about 68th Street. Eastbound 94, we are still seeing delays from about 76th all the way to about 35th Street. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, mostly clear skies, a low of 27 degrees. Tomorrow, sunshine early, rain late, a high of 52. Saturday, morning rain, a high of 54. Sunday, chance for rain, a high of 44. Monday, chance for rain, a high of 45 degrees. Right now in Milwaukee, it is 46 degrees. I love that song.
It's so good.
We're talking birds. Birds on Wisconsin's Afternoon News. I never heard of this particular bird before. It's called a prairie chicken. It looks delicious.
If you text WATCH to 855-616-1620, you can see a picture of this bird. Really big orange cheeks, orange eyebrows, and
it's a
then
weird-looking bird.
Really big tuft of feathers peeking out of its head.
Why are we talking about prairie chickens? Because a new survey's come out about prairie chickens in our state. Not many of these prairie chickens are left. Look at those cute prairie chickens.
They're doing a mating dance.
They are stable, but they face a new threat. It's the prairie chicken. Their primary breeding grounds in the central part of Wisconsin are being infringed upon. Oh, no. The prairie chicken is being threatened. But it's not just the lack of breeding ground that's threatening them. There aren't that many of them left. So this small herd of prairie chickens are just getting it on with each other. And so there's genetic problems.
There's inbreeding. Oh, no.
No. Say it isn't so.
Well, that's because they don't have anywhere to go. And apparently there's a solar farm in Portage County there's 2 really big spots where they love to breed, and that's the only place left. It used to be all over the Badger State. You could see them.
Well, maybe they should be more disciplined. I mean, you can't sleep with your brother. It's your brother.
They need a big piece of grassy land. They help get rid of the insects.
They do.
And they love to breed on the big parcels of land, but there's a big solar farm that's coming.
So that's a problem.
Gosh, yeah, you can't build your solar farm because of prairie chickens.
No. All right, so that's prairie chickens. What about another bird? A series of birds. It's the falcons, the We Energies falcons. I love these birds. They're beautiful, they're fun, and they're having eggs. You can see pictures of the falcons.
They're orange with darker orange specks. Really interesting.
I have the live feed up right now, which you can see at WTMJ.com. At Oak Creek, there is a falcon sitting on eggs. It's sitting there, not moving. You can see the feathers blowing around, so it's a live picture. There's one falcon. Now I'm at the Valley Power Plant. That falcon is sitting on something, eggs, I guess, sitting next to a big rock.
If you text Falcon to 855-616-1620, by the way, it will take you to all of the live sites to see them all. One of them, Sam and I, the producer, we were a little bit worried about one of the eggs in the Miller Valley.
Yeah.
That location, the Valley Power Plant, nobody was sitting on it for a while.
Well, the Port Washington camera right now, there's the egg right there, but there's no bird in there.
You have to sit on it. Come on.
Well, but they got to go get food. The bird probably is running through the drive-thru, and then it's going to come back and sit on the egg.
I'm worried about the chicks.
Is that uncomfortable, sitting on an egg all day?
I would assume.
That's not a great feeling, I'm guessing. So you can check it out. And if you'd
Neither
like
is pregnancy, John.
That's true, Deb. I really don't know anything about pregnancy.
You did have twins.
I did. Well, my wife did.
There you go.
Those eggs are an interesting color.
I know. I love it.
Yeah. All right, we got to get out of here because we got an important topic up next. Food trucks, could they be coming back to Capitol Drive? One alderman says that's a really good idea. He will join us up next on WTMJ. First, a couple of words for Griffin Chevrolet. Griffin Chevrolet, the last vehicle we bought was from Griffin Chevrolet. It was a beautiful Blazer. It's black. My wife absolutely loves it. It's Griffin Chevrolet. 70 new vehicles in stock right now, ready to preview. Get the newest selection today for a great used pickup truck or a full-size SUV, plus budget vehicles. See Griffin Chevy in the Metro Auto Mall. Ask about their GM-certified models starting at under $20,000. During the truck season event, get an affordable monthly payment on your next truck. Griffin Chevrolet is your Silverado destination. And the all-new 2024 Chevy Traverse, that's a great-looking vehicle. Is at Griffin Chevrolet right now. About 20 of them on the ground, ready for delivery. Different trim packages, different colors. Check them out. And speaking of the Blazer, how about its cousin, the Trailblazer? Right now, lease this great SUV for $329 a month for 36 months with $2,000 down. Top-rated Carfax dealer, great service department, great selection. It's where I shop for vehicles. It's Griffin Chevrolet.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after, an in-depth recap of every Bucks game in 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 provides game recaps for every game. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis.
Puts it on the floor, spins down the lane, and plunges it through.
Or the deep threes from Dame.
Dame time has arrived with 107.
Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus audio network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Only 11% of those trying to sell their own homes actually succeed. And of those that do sell their own home, they sell on average for 26% less than agented properties. This often negates the savings they were hoping to get by doing it on their own. So why do it on your own when you have an experienced realtor that will give you full service at only 3.5 to 3.9% commission? Don't let your home sit while others are selling faster and at potentially better than asking prices. Call Benefit Realty for a highly experienced agent, and you'll pay less for full service. In this seller's market, even homeowners are trying to sell their own home. But more times than not, it doesn't work out like they'd hoped. And while homes like theirs are selling, and selling fast for over asking prices, their homes aren't. So what's your next best strategy? Well, if you're looking to relieve yourself of the stress of selling your own home and still get top dollar while getting the full service benefits that an experienced realtor can give you, then look no further. I'm Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where 3.5 to 3.9% commission assures that you pay less for full service.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we get you outdoors because we get you. Whether you're ready to work in the yard, tackle a project, or enjoy family time, we get you the right products at the right prices. Right now, Rewards members get a free $10 Blaine's gift card with a $100 purchase of estate fertilizer. Men's and women's Carhartt pocket tees, 2 for $30. 15% off Gardner Bender electrical tools and supplies. And save $50 on select Basement Watchdog backup sump pump systems. We get you outdoors because we get you. At Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Trucks. They were banned on Capitol Drive by the Common Council just 12 days ago, John. But Alderman Lamont Westmoreland is already working to bring it back. He joins us by phone. Alderman Westmoreland, thanks for joining us.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Great.
Good.
Thank you so much for joining us. Can you tell us, at the time, how did you vote? Did you want those food trucks off for the time being, or why did this happen?
So, I want to start off by saying that this is not, I've seen several reports that are it's kind of misinforming folks. So this is not a ban that's being reversed, or it's not something that I changed my mind on. The initial ban that took place starting on March 16th, that was a temporary ban. And the temporary ban was put in place because specifically on 76 in Capitol, we had as many as sometimes 11 food trucks set up. As I'm driving past the site now, there's somebody selling Easter baskets. So, there was just a congregation of food trucks, vendors selling shoes, shirts, or what have you. So it was just a free-for-all. And what that created was, first and foremost, a safety issue with, Capitol Drive being obviously one of the most dangerous streets in the entire state. What happened was you had folks coming out of that shopping center that had obstructed view, so they could not see onto Capitol Drive. So that was an issue in itself. Second issue was an uptick in litter. In talking with Walgreens there and some of the other tenants in that shopping center, there was an uptick in litter because you have folks that are eating their food from the food trucks sitting in the parking lot, and not everybody, but some of them would leave, their leftovers there into the parking lot. So that created the issue. Obviously, in the wintertime, it created, litter being blown into neighboring areas, and that's where the complaints start coming in from residents in that direct area. And the third piece of this is protecting our brick and mortar businesses. There was one food truck in one particular part of Capitol Drive that parked in front of a brick and mortar business. So obviously that causes disruption. Food truck customers were parking inside of the parking lot of the brick and mortar business. So brick and mortar business is losing business because their customers don't have a place to park.
So, Alderman, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, Alderman, but I want to make sure you get the chance to tell us, how will you alleviate this? What does your plan call for to take care of litter and congestion and stuff like that?
Well, it's going to bring, we're going to be able to hold food trucks accountable because, we're going to create about 8 slots, predetermined slots, and you have to register to be in these slots. So that's going to probably end folks leaving garbage behind, dumping grease at the sites. And we're going to place these food trucks where they're not obstructing views of drivers.
Will that be by seniority, do you
we're not going to have them. No, first come, first serve.
Okay.
But I will say this, historically, there's been about 4 to 5 food trucks in this space, and we're creating about 8 or 9 slots. So it's not going to be a situation where somebody's going to miss out on a slot. Everybody who's historically been on Capitol Drive will return to Capitol Drive. Maybe not where they want to be, but it's going to be safer.
And really quickly, where would it be? Because it was from 76 to the city limits. So where exactly would we be able to find that?
Food trucks would be stretched out probably starting around 79th in Capitol, and probably no further than 98th in Capitol. There would be several options for these food trucks to register to be.
Do you think you have the support of the Common Council to get this done?
1,000% yes.
Well, we're glad you came up with a solution. It's about trying to solve the problems in our city. I wish we had more time, Alderman. I'm sorry we got to run, but thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for explaining what you want to do.
Thank you.
Take care, guys.
It is 5:27 at WTMJ. Time for the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The S&P 500 up 5 points. The Dow up 47. The NASDAQ was down 20 on the day. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
Welcome to the Knowledge Brokers, weekly feature covering the dynamics of the insurance market and how it affects Wisconsin businesses and folks who live here. Sponsored by the original Knowledge Brokers, R&R Insurance. And joining us today is Jeff Salasinski. He's Vice President of Insurance Operations. Good to see you again, Jeff. We've been talking a lot on the news lately about these huge settlements and jury awards that are happening in court. I know that's something that's on your radar.
Yeah, thank you, Vince. It's great to be here. Business owners and individuals need to know the courts are open. They've been largely closed for a couple of years following the pandemic. You're seeing attorney advertising everywhere. It's attacking virtually every industry. These excessive awards and settlements are becoming less shocking. People are just simply becoming desensitized to some of these huge numbers.
So what's any of that got to do with insurance then?
So both inflation and legal system abuse that we've been speaking of may have already rendered your insurance limits inadequate.
Okay, this is the insurance I have right now. You're saying not enough to cover potential damages.
Correct. You might see one of these big numbers against your company as a business owner, perhaps against you as an individual in an auto accident. If you had $500 or $1 million a couple of years ago, a few years ago, it might not be enough today.
Okay, lots of folks do insurance. Why is R&R Insurance the company to count on?
It's really important to work with an insurance professional that understands these issues like R&R. You need in-depth analysis on today's risks and how they impact your business and you as an individual. R&R can help you make a data-driven decision to make sure the selections you're making are adequate. Today's environment is incredibly dynamic, as we've spoken for on our previous engagements. It's rapidly changing. You need a partner that understands what's going on, what's important, and how you manage risk and finding a solution in this market.
That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Great info as always, Jeff. More information online at myknowledgebroker.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Sendik's Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926.
Don't miss Sendik's Seafood Spectacular this Thursday through Saturday. Great deals like premium wild-caught halibut fillets, just $9.99 per pound. Sendik's, your trusted local grocer.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 5:30. I'm John Mercure. Your top story of vigil for Illinois stabbing victims.
I'm Julia Fellow. Vending machines to save lives.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, and we do have an issue on 94 eastbound at 35th Street. The right lane is blocked with an accident. Looked like a car went up and under another car in front of it. So big delays all the way back towards the Zoo interchange. The good news is the earlier accident on 4394 southbound south of Beecher, the one that had that right lane blocked, that's actually been picked up. Still have the delays, though, stretching all the way back through the Marquette, pretty much past Capitol Drive at this point. The southbound side, that's the southbound side. The northbound side's backed up right around the North Avenue curve, all the way up to Keefe. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Right now it's clear outside, 42 degrees. Chilly tonight as the low will be 27 degrees. Tomorrow's cloudy with rain chances at night. The high will be 43 degrees at the lake and 52 inland.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a prayer vigil was held this afternoon in the city of Rockford, Illinois, for the many victims of Wednesday's stabbing spree. 22-year-old Christian Soto faces multiple first-degree murder and attempted murder charges in the alleged stabbing of 9 people. 4 of the victims died. 4 of the injured have been treated and released from the hospital. 1 victim remains hospitalized in stable condition. Police are still trying to establish a motive for the tragic events.
Another search effort concludes today for missing Elijah Vu. The 3-year-old has not been found in over a month after his disappearance was reported. Two Rivers police say a 70-team operation conducted a drone search, checking large areas of interest, including assistance from the sheriff's departments across our state and Wisconsin's Department of Justice Division of Criminal Investigation. Last week, police, the Department of Natural Resources, and local farmers conducted a large search operation in the Choteau area.
Police are investigating the death of an infant at a New Berlin in-home daycare center. A 4-month-old boy was found unconscious and not breathing at the home near 130th and Saginaw on Tuesday. The boy was taken to Children's Hospital of Wisconsin, where he later died. New Berlin police have not identified the business or implicated the owners with any crime as of today.
A modern approach to minimizing overdoses in Outagamie County.
They're vending machines at the Government Center and Grand Chute Town Hall. However, they're not dispensing snacks.
We have medicine disposal bags. There are hygiene kits. There are tick-borne illness prevention kits, dental hygiene, trigger locks for guns.
Outagamie County Executive Tom Nelson tells WTMJ spanning the state the public health vending machines are the latest tool in their tool belt to fight the ongoing opioid epidemic.
This is the kind of best practice that I think is going to catch on. It's going to catch on not just here, but around the state. And I would guess within a couple of years, you're going to have an even larger presence.
Mike Spalding, WTMJ News.
With 1 week until the referendum, the MPS district unexpectedly cancels a referendum town hall scheduled by a school board member. Milwaukee Public Schools Board Director Aisha Carr thought her referendum town hall was going to be held Wednesday at Washington High School. She spoke with TMJ4's Megan Lee.
I have had issues in the past with scheduling things, but I've never had anything quite like this.
MPS officials blamed spring break for the cancellation.
It's very unfortunate because it really looks bad on the district.
The logistics were messed up. Nevertheless, Carr was able to meet with the community and show what she believes are faults within the district budget.
I am concerned that this is going to be another referendum that is going to be allocated inequitably, and then we're going to be back up for another referendum in 3 years.
The district had previously approved the meeting.
Getting a chance at the American dream of home ownership, Washington County Executive Josh Showman explains to TMJ the Heart and Homeland Homestead Earned Down Payment Incentive.
We provide up to $20,000 or 10% of a purchase price for a home as a down payment. And the incentive has a 5-year earn back opportunity where, they can volunteer time to local nonprofit and they can earn the equivalent of $25 for every hour that they volunteer.
Eligible homes must be under $420,000.
With the start of the Brewers season comes the start of the Brewers Community Fund charity campaigns.
We're happy that this year we're going to be kicking off our season with a drive for charity, collecting pet supplies.
Executive Director for the Brewers Community Foundation, Cecilia Gore, says they're hitting the ground running with the first homestand.
The drive for charity takes place April 4th through April 7th. But on Thursday, April 4th, we're allowing people to do a drive-through. You can stop by between 7 and 3 p.m. and drop off those pet supplies.
Money will also be welcome in the collection, and it all benefits the Wisconsin Humane Society. Debbie Loziga, WTMJ News.
The first 250 people to donate at the drive will get Brewers tickets and collectible commemorative pins.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. 26 teams scheduled to play today as baseball's regular season gets underway. The Brewers and Mets, one of 2 games postponed because of weather. It looks a lot better tomorrow in New York. Our coverage of the Brewers and Mets begins at 12:05. Our Bucks post up tonight in New Orleans against the Pelicans. Coverage begins at 6 o'clock on WTMJ.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:35.
This report sponsored by Pella of Wisconsin. Discover Pella now, pay later at PellaWI.com.
0% interest for up to 3 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. I'm Gina Della from Pella. Pella's free in-home consultations make replacing or redesigning your windows and doors easy. We go beyond just measuring and handing you a quote. We take the time to listen and educate you on all your product options. And with DesignWorks, you can see what your home will look like before you buy. Whether you're looking to replace your windows due to damage or it's time for a refresh and you'd like to revitalize your home style, choosing from Pella's wide range of windows and doors will complement your home's unique design. Pella can also customize, providing nearly endless possibilities for maximum design flexibility with dramatic sizes, custom colors, finishes, profiles, product types, and more. Order by March 31st to get 0% interest for up to 3 years. Set your free consultation at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
I am so excited So we're looking at the live cameras for the Falcons, and I was just looking at, there's one right now, the Oak Creek Power Plant. There's a falcon on top of some eggs, and the falcon looks like he's dead. He's just sitting, because how he's just sitting there like, da-dum, 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 da-dum. And so then I scrolled down, you can see these at WTMJ.com, to the Valley Power Plant, and I said, Julia, come over here and look at this. It looks like this falcon's hardly moving. As you walked over here, the falcon got up.
It could feel my vibes, right?
It did. It felt your... It's incredible. He got up, or she got up, and was like, caw-caw, caw-caw, and like got off. Look at the eggs are sitting there. Now we can see the eggs.
They're beautiful.
They're a beautiful color of orange. Where do you think the falcon went? Go potty? Go get something
food.
to eat?
Yeah, get some food.
It's incredible. We saw it live.
Text Falcon to 855-616-1620. Takes you to a landing page.
It's amazing.
No pun intended, where we can get you all the information, all the live streams.
Brendan Johnson, meteorologist, is with us. Brendan, are you familiar with these Falcon cameras?
Okay, guys, literally we were talking about this in the newsroom before the 4 o'clock, and I'm now that you're talking about it, I just went out on my iPad and I'm looking at the exact thing you're talking about. Left the nest, and I'm going back in the YouTube video, and I see, you can rewind the YouTube video and actually see the bird.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
You and your iPad. You love your iPad.
Oh, my gosh,
do.
you're right. I just rewound it. Look. You can see the bird leave.
Cute.
Brendan, you're so smart.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Wow.
It is cool.
I was the one in the meeting this morning that was like, why are we talking about these dumb birds? And now I'm so excited. I just saw the bird do its thing.
Cute.
Wow.
We're going to be so attached. They better hatch.
Yeah. They got lots of sunshine today, Brendan, out there. All these different cameras look bright sunshine.
Oh, yeah. It is probably, enjoy it now, because it's probably going to be the last day of full sunshine until about this time next week. It's going to get progressively more cloudy tomorrow. And across Easter weekend, though, it won't be a complete washout. So that's at least my good news.
That is good news.
It looks like they're kind of like hunched down. Is it because of the wind and everything like that?
You know what? It could be, but there are a lot of things I'm not an expert on. And
you're not a bird expert?
Bird watching? Honestly, no.
I mean, I'd be
I'm really not.
We're all going to be bird experts by the end of this. If this radio thing doesn't work out, I want to work with birds. I want to do the bird thing.
I love it.
What are bird experts called?
Oh, we just had it. Yeah.
What are they? Julia, we had the bird.
Had it.
Yeah, we had the bird guy on the show.
Yeah, he was great. Well, anyways, pivoting to rain chances in the evening tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. We got that opportunity for a couple of scattered showers. Most of your Friday looking pretty dry. Early sunshine, then increasing clouds. We'll look for temperatures in the low 40s at the lakefront. It will be cooler with that southeasterly wind in Milwaukee. We're talking low 50s a bit farther inland. Saturday, we'll get those showers out of here by daybreak. Mostly cloudy with highs in the upper 40s to low 50s, and hold on to the clouds right into Easter Sunday. I could see a sprinkle or two headed our way in the evening. I would have the rain jacket, but I think if you've got any morning plans at Easter Sunday, you should be just fine. By Monday, more rain showers move into the area, mostly cloudy and breezy with a high of 45, and we may hold on to those showers depending on the track of this next system into Tuesday, and that could pose a problem for any Brewers home opener tailgaters. Temperatures will be in the mid-40s. It will be breezy, so wind chills in the 30s. So I would have the rain jacket as of right now if you're going to be tailgating at AmFam Field.
Brendan, over our shoulder here, I saw you during the newscast on TV put up a map that showed the 14-day temperature outlook. That looked pretty good.
Yes, and that, again, another good piece of news, despite all the cloud cover headed our way. Looks like that first weekend of April, that first full weekend, we could be punching up into the 50s and 60s. I would say even make a run towards 70 at the state line. Again, a little too early to tell, but it's nice to see that red shade on the temperature outlook.
But for now, the car wash forecast is big red.
Yeah, big red. I mean, if you wanted to get it washed today or even tomorrow, that's probably fine. But do know that it will probably deal with some rain. If not over the weekend, definitely early next week.
All right, meteorologist Brendan Johnson, thank you.
No problem, guys. Take care.
Thanks.
Look, he is so right. Come look at this. I just rewound it to the part where this bird is about to get off the eggs. This is absolutely incredible. Look, the bird is spreading its wings. The bird is like, look, oh my gosh. It was stepping on the egg.
Oh.
Those sharp tail ends were stepping right on the egg. Now he's like walking around, or she's walking around. You think that's a girl falcon or a boy falcon?
I don't know.
How do you tell?
Could be a girl.
Oh my gosh, look, she's like, and I'm out, and gone. I am so fascinated. This is amazing.
I love it.
I love it too. This is cool. It's 5:42 at WTMJ. All right, enough bird talk because former Superintendent William Andrikopoulos will join us up next talking MPS referendum on WTMJ.
Be our eyes on the road. See something out there that I should know about?
I-94 eastbound. A semi just came to a screeching stop in the center lane. I think he's broken down right there.
Call me, Debbie Lazaga, at the Hall Volkswagen traffic tip line at 414-238-9329.
On southbound I-94, right around Drexel Avenue, there's a wreck in the left lane, and the left lane is blocked.
The drive affects you. Why not be part of it? Give me a call, 414-238-9329. WTMJ's Julia Fellow here for Just Between Friends, Milwaukee County. It's a community marketplace where families like yours can buy and sell gently used clothing from infant to teen, as well as maternity wear and kids gear. It's taking place at State Fair Park's Exposition Center from Friday, April 12th through Sunday, April 14th. Details at milwaukeecounty.jbfsale.com. There are still pre-sale tickets available Thursday, April 11th, but they're going fast. I can't wait for you to enjoy it, just like me. You can learn more now at milwaukeecounty.jbfsale.com. That's milwaukeecounty.jbfsale.com.
From sliding framed, semi-frameless, or frameless glass shower doors to heavy all-glass custom enclosures that can be built to fit any opening, at Less's Glass, we cover all the bases. But our biggest strength isn't only our selection. It's in our installation experience. We've been around nearly 40 years, and you only last that long if your installers leave the job the way your customers expect it to be left. Other places can sell you a glass shower enclosure, and some of those big guys may even be able to do it for a little cheaper. But the question you need to ask yourself is, will the job be done right? So remember, paying for quality only hurts once, but it does feel good when you get what you expect. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
There are surgeons lining up to be the one to do your joint replacement. But my advice? Exhaust all your options and put off joint replacement as long as you can. Make it your very last resort, because life after joint replacement isn't always what it's cracked up to be. As high as 30% of patients who have undergone joint replacement surgery report unsatisfactory results. And the cost, even with insurance, can be extraordinary. At Rejuvenex, we'll help ease your pain and improve your mobility with FDA-approved pharmacological treatments that precisely target where your pain lives. And by easing your pain and inflammation, we'll help you live a better life. And because we're in network with most major insurance plans, your out-of-pocket expense could be very affordable, or nothing at all. This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Clinics, where we can alleviate your pain and rejuvenate your life.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
Traffic is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management. It's time to know the difference, and Annex Wealth Management is ready to help with investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning as a fee-only fiduciary partner. AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button.
Traffic and weather. Let's get a look at the roads with Debbie Lazaga.
All right, Julia, we've eastbound on 94, right about at 35th Street. We had an accident. It was blocking the right lane. They have since been able to move everything off to the right shoulder. However, damage is done. Big delays coming out of the Zoo interchange to that point, so be prepared for that. Otherwise, on westbound 94 is going to be backed up from about 25th Street through the stadium. Southbound 43 backing up just south of Capitol Drive down through the Marquette. Also, southbound 894 backing up from Greenfield Avenue down and around the Hale interchange to about 92nd Street. And then on the westbound side of 894, that's very heavy back through the Mitchell interchange all the way to Forest Home with that construction zone. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
So Milwaukee Public Schools is asking voters to approve a $252 million referendum. This is a lot